Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. I tweaked it again. Unfortunately, Batman's not here because he is a part-timer, as he is with the Justice League. He's not here right now. But we will have Beardo here as a new panel member for the roundtable when he can make it. Beardo does have other streaming responsibilities that predate him joining the crew, but Beardo will be a semi-regular member of the panel. And as I said, like Batman, who is a part-timer for the Justice League, he will be here. So when Beardo does get here, whether it's today or next week, we're happy to have him here. I was hoping to be here, but it's football season and he's covering stuff for Sports Wars. So I cannot have that was his first priority. So I understand that completely. But anyway, welcome everybody. No clips because I have to redo the clips now. There's a whole bunch of new clips. There's extra stuff. I get to redo the clips. And I had another clip prepared, but it's not quite there yet anyway. But hope everybody's having a good day. It is Sunday. We are now at 3 p.m. and I like it. It gives me time to sleep a little more, get a few more things done if I have to go out, which I did and got back in time. But it's ready. I'm excited. New thumbnail, new everything. We thank Devil made me do it for new thumbnail, though there has to be a couple of tweaks. He went a little bit too much New 52 on it, and there has to be. Well, there's no trunks, Dre. There's no trunks.
I see.
And that's why he gave me two, and I went with this one because I'm embarrassed. There's no trunks. So when Devil,
he's embarrassed of his crotch. He's very self-conscious.
I'm not embarrassed of my crotch. I'm proud of my crotch.
Oh God.
Point is, we appreciate Devil did this of his free time about helping out. So when Devil has a chance, I will get to him, talk to him, say, "Can we get a couple of tweaks here? Like get rid of the collar, no collar, and put trunks on Batman and Superman. Put the trunks on because they got to be trunks. Straight, it's got to be trunks.
Oh no, I agree with that 100%.
It's got to be trunks. Anyway, but welcome everybody. Hope everybody's ready to go. We're still going to go about 2 hours. We're not going to extend the show. Discussions can always extend it, but we will keep going as we keep going. Jed, how you doing from yesterday? Feeling all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing great. We had a great time talking about The Thing last night on Saturday Night Drive-In, and it's very exciting to be part of, what are you calling this, Roundtable 4.0?
4.0. This is
4.0.
The fourth iteration where things have changed. 1.0 was just me and the two dinks that bailed on me last second. 2.0 was Grump, and then Dragon Lady joined on. 3.0 is you and Dre. And now we are 4.0 as we've gone through another change. And there's been different thumbnails every time, so this is the fourth iteration of the thumbnails. So we are ready to go. I'm excited. It's this, and I have a feeling things are going to get more interesting as the end of the year closes out. I have a feeling this week alone was that. I mean, Dre, this week, so much stuff we didn't expect out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely some man out of nowhere stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah,
like nothing else.
Lots of gaming stuff. We got a lot of more gaming stuff than I thought we would have to talk about. I want to keep talking games all the time, but really, this is things that change and don't change the same. Things that change, yet things are going to stay the same. Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
English hard.
English hard. Well, you weren't here. I was just saying. I was geared up to get enough sleep again today, but I didn't because some random text comes in saying your Robinhood account is about to be deactivated. I don't have a Robinhood account. And after that, there was no going back to sleep. So I'm up. Well, you have a young child in the house.
Oh,
sleep
yeah.
Sleep is the thing you've lost track of.
Yes. I don't even know what the days are anymore. Like, it's like, hey, what do I do today? Oh, right. Everything.
Yeah.
And what day is it? Oh, it's Sunday?
Yeah.
What happened to Tuesday?
No.
Like,
All right, no, we're not doing dream stories. No dream stories. I had some crazy ones this week, but
no.
we're not doing that today. Hi, Dragon Lady, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Bit of a bad weekend. My PlayStation 2 died on me on Thursday. I'd gone to get a drink from the kitchen, came back, and the TV was saying, no signal. I didn't even get the red screen of death on the PlayStation 2 or anything like that.
Dang.
And I tried everything, and yeah, it basically died on me, so I had to get another one.
Well, I mean, I've gone through 3 PlayStation 2s in my times. I mean, the one I have in my closet, it's not even close to my original. It's not even a slim boy. I didn't when I got a used one, it wasn't even a slim boy. So it's like an old school one still. But it's in there just in case.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, so they have they have a shelf life and they all die.
Yeah.
Longer life than the Xbox 360, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Or unless you have a Dreamcast that lives forever.
I'm normally quite careful with my consoles because like I know they're expensive and everything, so I'm always very, very careful with it. And yeah, it just happened on Thursday and a bit of a shock. And I was, I've had it for 20 years and it's had a good long life. That's the only one I've ever had, actually. So
well, you got lucky then. My very first one I bought crapped out on me, not because it wouldn't play things, but the DVD player aspect didn't work, so I couldn't play DVDs on it. So I had to like literally return it immediately and get a new one. And then that one lasted plenty of time. But either way, but anyway, hail howdy to the chat. We hope you are all doing well on this Sunday afternoon. Hail to the mods, Legatus, and Algorithm here to do the good work that they do, whether they like me or not. They show up. Hail Huzzah, son of Joxer. How are you, my friend? Hail to Ruben X, another one of the mods. Here to do good work. Hail Frank. Hail. And again, like I said, no dream stories. And anybody else is hanging out, not chatting, we are happy to have you here. Hit those like buttons. Links for description below for channels. And let's get started. We have a busy day. We've got James Gunning even harder than we thought possible. Because he doesn't stop talking. He gave this glorious interview with GQ, which unfortunately I can only show you a screenshot part of it because every time I try to load it up on freaking Chrome, their anti-ad blocker shuts down the article. It works on Firefox just fine, but not on Chrome. So I got the screenshot of the question I want to talk about. So he just kept talking, and then of course we will talk. None of us watch Peacemaker. We know what's going on. We know what's going on, and James Gunn's going to talk about that. Connected to that, actually, no, that's James Gunn. Then we got gaming news, and more gaming news. Saudi Arabia owns Electronic Arts. We all woke up to that on Monday. And there's several ways to talk about this, and a couple things that a lot of people I think have glossed over that I want to zero in on, but in general, but there's so much to unpack from that, and we'll do our best. Then we've got the ghost of Yotei glazing. There's some hanky-panky going on with this release. I think there is, and I think I have evidence to prove it. We'll talk about that. Then we've got Xbox, Microsoft not only raising the prices again of the consoles, the Series X, but the Game Pass controversy that happened on Wednesday. And I have been delaying talking about it because I'm not a Microsoft Xbox guy. I don't have Game Pass. So I want to make sure in a roundtable discussion, we can get all the proper perceptors on this because there's a lot to unpack with that as well, especially with the coincidence that if you price out how much it costs for the year, it's $360. So there's that. And then just to top it all off, Rings of Power poked its head up out of the sand and said, hi, we're still here ready to fail with set screen caps and some interesting revelations about how much this show costs and why. And as Jed was pointed out to me perfectly last time, we were talking about this, how it proves my escape hatch theory, but also now is my escape hatch theory plausible? So we'll talk about that. But I do have a warm-up. I've got a warm-up for everybody. I will always take a chance to shit on Disney Star Wars. Of course. Dre, you know comic books. I think you know
Indeed.
comic books.
Indeed,
You
I
know
do.
what good artwork looks like. You know what good dialogue looks like. You know what good story structure looks like.
That's
Well, Disney Marvel keeps on putting out Star Wars comic books, and they dropped one this week. And from all apparent views, I haven't done a deep dive, just going what I see. It looks like Luke and Han have somehow gotten involved fighting Clone War droid troopers.
Yeah, they might have time traveled.
Might have time traveled. I don't know.
Come on, don't do
Well,
this.
they did it in the Lego games, as you know, or the Lego movies that they did on Disney Plus. So clearly, that's enough justification to include time travel in Star Wars.
So we got this here. Brace yourselves. Hold on tight. What is going on with this art?
Oh no!
What is going on here? This is a professionally illustrated, drawn, written, released comic.
Well, a
That's
professional, as in a company, released it,
Yeah,
but they
that's what I
continue
mean.
to hire
Yeah.
kindergarten art classes to do
That's
the work for them.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
man. That's
Dre,
ridiculous.
Child labor's back in fashion.
Oh, clearly.
What is going on here with
I
all
don't
of
know
this?
what I'm seeing. I don't even know what I'm seeing. So just looking at this, even before we even get to the coloring, the lines are horrible. The
Mhm.
designs are definitely at one point, like usually when you see images like this, usually this is on cutting room floor.
Mhm.
Temp art, excuse me. Cutting room floor temp art. Or like, hey, this is the idea of what we want to use with Luke and Han or whatever, whoever.
Starts as a storyboard, goes into
Exactly.
toilet paper.
Exactly. The fact that this is the finished product, everyone should be fired.
I mean, this looks like one of my thumbnails where I took a PNG and just dropped it over whatever's in front of it.
Exactly.
That's what
And
it
this
looks
is,
like.
I don't
AIR
know
would
who
be
their
better than
letterers
this.
are. I don't know who their inkers are. Fire everyone. Skip the middleman. Fire everyone. The fact that this made it to print, fire your editor, fire your producer, fire the printer that even had the audacity to put this on paper. Trees were sacrificed for this shit.
So
Okay,
Holocron
this is
glazed it,
unacceptable.
and one of the chief glazers of all, this piece of shit, shows us the full panel. Here's more of it.
Ew.
There's more of it. Look at this.
How is it worse?
It is worse, isn't it?
Golly, this is
There,
embarrassing.
there is no dynamic action there. He's blocking blaster bolts, but it's just
Yeah, I don't know what I'm seeing.
it's horrific. This is Disney Star Wars, and like Jed just alluded to, they might have time traveled back to the Clone Wars. They're wearing Clone
I
armor,
see droids.
and they're wearing clone armor. And Han is. I saw some other ones with the Han. I lost track of them. I forgot to bookmark them. Han is there holding a clone trooper heavy rifle.
We're in trouble.
Disney Star Wars.
As
Disney
a
Star Wars.
people, why is no one protesting this? As a
Yeah.
people, we have to get together as a people and be like, listen, what are you doing up there? Look,
Yeah.
if y'all want to get up there and snort Bermuda grass, that's your business. All right. But
Yep.
keep your pen and paper to yourself. Rules to this. Yeah, this
And
is embarrassing.
You look at this guy, and we see this guy. This guy he's one of the chief shills. I've tried for years to get blocked by him, and to no avail. He always pretends to be a EU. He calls it Legends, and he tries to talk about the Bantam era and how he thinks he's smart and educated and pretends to be knowledgeable, but it just shows he always throws real Star Wars under the bus to defend shit like this every freaking time. So this is disaster, complete and total disaster, and I'm here for it. I don't want to hear Disney Star Wars is doing great. I don't want to hear everybody's excited for Ahsoka season 2. I don't want to hear Andor saved the day. I don't want to hear Mandalorian Grogu's gonna be great. No, this is the state of your franchise where you draw shit comics that make no fucking sense and expect us to believe that this is canon continuity. Fuck right off. Fuck right off.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. And now I got this. As we lead into James Gunn
Mm.
and talking about Peacemaker in his DCU. I have this here just to make us more angry as we go into talking about James Gunn. We are fans of the Paul Dini, Bruce Timmverse. We're fans of that around
Absolutely.
here.
100%.
We like that. And even though when it first came out, I was a little too young to appreciate it. As I got older and rewatched it, I appreciated it. I thought Batman Beyond is fantastic.
You know, this is, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Me and my son started watching Batman Beyond this week. And it's interesting now because, like, when I was much younger, I didn't really appreciate Batman Beyond that much. Because I was still hung up on old school Bruce Wayne, and I wasn't really mentally able to move on to Terry McGinnis.
Yeah.
When I was young. But now watching it again, I mean, I've rewatched it, before.
Many times. As
Yeah.
Yeah.
But rewatching it now, I'm like, hey, I like Terry, and I really like this story of how they on the progress of the character. I think it still ends abruptly, and that I think it was just cancellation. And
It was
I believe
cancellation.
yeah.
And they tried to fix it in Justice League Unlimited. They tried to give a little more closure to it.
Yeah, give it closure, but I believe it was cut short for whatever reasons. Back then,
CW.
Yeah,
Fuck CW.
yeah. Wait, was it CW or was it WB back then? Was it CW?
It was still WB when it
I
first
think it was
came out.
WB
Right.
back
It was
then.
still
Yeah, I
WB.
think that was like
Still WB,
2001.
It was it was 99, 2000, somewhere in there because I was in college, so I remember when it came out.
I'm thinking it was WB. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it was WB.
Yeah, it was WB. You're right.
But I can appreciate the show now, in a completely different light. So yeah. Go Terry McGinnis.
I mean, Terry McGinnis is fantastic because Terry McGinnis earned his place. He's not Bruce Wayne, and it's a Neo Gotham. It's not Gotham. It's Neo Gotham. Everything is different, and everybody who knows this understands this, who gave it a chance. And like you, I first watched it, I thought, I'm not into this. Not that I was hung up. I just couldn't get into it. And then I watched it again when I'd finished watching Justice League because it's all the same continuity.
Yeah.
And I realized, wow, this is great.
Yeah, pretty good.
Now, in this era of retards,
oh boy,
there are people out there who will try and strawman and gaslight that Terry McGinnis is somehow not as good as Miles Morales.
Oh, come on.
This made the rounds this week. This interesting Miles gooning stan. I had to make another one of these just for him. People need to stop forcing my hand like this. For real. So let's look at this here. Let's meet slash out Dick Grayson. So first of all, no, Terry McGinnis is nowhere. He's not Dick Grayson. They're two totally different characters. He'd be as popular as Miles if his movies didn't get canceled. What?
Miles ain't popular.
Yeah, there's a problem here. Miles Morales is not popular at all. He's not. He's a disaster on wheels. His comics don't sell. He hasn't had a single television show at all. And his movies are quickly forgotten. And the two games he was in, disasters. So yeah, don't tell you. He'll get a good comic run one day. Well, first of all, he didn't need a comic run. He was created as a TV show.
And he did have solid comic runs.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. I'm confused on, is this person just on smack?
They must be.
And just don't. Like where is this? I'm very confused. Where are they pulling this out from?
I don't know. That's the thing. All the reactions to this all week long has been on, because I've seen a lot of reactions. It's that, where are you getting any of this from? Because he's an alt skin for Bruce. That's so cool. No, no one's ever said that. I mean, before we get the revelation in Justice League Unlimited to his origins, Terry McGinnis was Terry McGinnis, never Bruce Wayne. Bruce, pick up the phone or I'm finished. Oh, listen. Bruce was in his ear to train him.
Yeah,
because
it makes sense.
Because unlike Bruce Wayne, he didn't spend a decade in training before he went out and became Batman. Terry had to learn on the fly.
Yeah. And having Bruce as the man in the chair was a brilliant way of introducing this character in a proper way, especially with all of us still being hung up. Matter of fact, what was that? what was it? The New Adventures of Batman and Robin might have just ended. When this
we were
show
just starting
came?
Justice League.
Yeah,
So yeah.
like Justice League had just started when this show was being canceled.
Mhm.
Like Justice League just started when the show was being canceled.
Yep.
And New Adventures of Batman and Robin it was just ending, and we went right into this.
Mhm.
It was a perfect segue. There was genius put into play. I don't were these people okay. First and foremost, whoever wrote this wasn't there. Let's just get that out there.
Clearly, Clark.
They weren't there, and they have no idea what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah.
And secondly, why is everybody taking a dump on Terry? Where is this coming from? I don't. Did I
don't
miss
know.
something? Did I miss something?
I don't know. This came out of nowhere. This obviously because and then you get this side right here. Do something special to stand out in the Bat Fam. First of all, there is no Bat Fam when Terry's out there. It's just Terry.
That's right.
Terry has no backup. He has Bruce in his ear. That's it. There's no Batgirl. There's no Robins. There's no Nightwing. Nothing. Bring something unique to the mantle. Oh, I don't know. He's not Bruce Wayne, and he finds other ways to get things done.
He's a criminal that is Batman. How is that not unique?
Yeah.
He's a street kid that is legitimate, a hustler, a wise talker. He's a completely different person, and he doesn't come from the tree of Bruce. That's what makes him unique and different. All the other disciples were literally pieces of Bruce extended. He ain't.
Yeah.
He's literally his own person that actually wanted a life and pursued it, may I add.
Yeah. And then I love this one. Have original villains.
All of his villains are original.
His entire Rogues Gallery is original. Blight, Inc. We're talking really good villains. His version of the
Shriek was great.
The Royal Flush Gang, where he has his own, where the Jack in that one is his Catwoman, his Selena Kyle. I love the end of the episode. 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah, Jack was the dude. Sorry, 10. Yeah. And at the end of the episode, Bruce goes, "Let me tell you about Selena Kyle." Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking.
And then he brings up a list of Miles villains. Miles has no original villains.
What villains does he have?
Everything's a derivative of another Spider-Man villain.
Everything is a derivative of Peter Parker. Period. Yeah. It's not hyperbole. Yeah. It's not up for debate. It's what it is. They even prove it even in the second film when they're like, "Yeah, bro, you weren't even supposed to happen because we have a Peter and you just did what Peter did." It's bruh, just I don't and get the hatred, and I don't get the whole jerking off of daggone Miles Morales. I don't get it.
And then the last one right here shows you they don't know their actual correct history. A literal clone of Bruce Wayne. No, he's not a clone. Amanda Waller changed the DNA of his father to Bruce's DNA.
Yeah.
Because she needed to have a backup plan for when Bruce wasn't there anymore.
And but you know what makes me see now you got my nerve breaking.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I find interesting about this is like, yeah, she manipulated his nutsack to be Bruce Wayne nutsack.
Yeah.
Does that mean that his little brother is Bruce Wayne's child too?
Probably.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah, it's also Bruce Wayne DNA.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of thought about when I was watching. I was like, wait a minute. Are both of them now his children? Or was it just that one nut? And then
it don't work like that. I know biology don't work like that. I mean, you can't survive with
flushed out.
You could survive with one nut, but
they're
both there. I don't. But it's fascinating, and that's the thing. And I love that epilogue, literally titled epilogue at the end of Justice League Unlimited season 1, where she was going to get what's her name from Mask of the Phantasm to try and do a Joker, and she was she was so disgusted. She's like, "No, I'm not going to do this. This is disgusting." And then it happened anyway with Blight.
Yeah.
Then it happened anyway.
That's crazy, isn't it? Andrea Beaumont, my side piece. Yeah. I love that girl.
Mask of the Phantasm. So
great,
good.
Great film.
Good. So I wanted to go over this because I knew you would have the exact detailed analysis as I would on this. Like this is such horse load, and I don't know where this comes from. I don't have an answer to that.
So I actually do. I
Okay.
wasn't around in this time when you guys were talking about watching these animated shows, so I've never seen Batman Beyond or interacted with Terry's character whatsoever. But the constant hate I see to his character is solely and consistently derived from his comparisons to Miles Morales. These people who love and prop up Miles Morales hate that the people who aren't fans of Miles love Terry. They see it as a contradiction, and purely because of racism. You actually see it in the original post that one is quote tweeting right there, the one that you had pulled up, where the love for Terry and the hate for Miles is born purely out of racism. They believe that if Miles Morales was white, everyone would love him, and the comparisons to Terry is their evidence for that conclusion. So they have to keep bringing up Terry. They have to keep downplaying Terry to say, hey, Miles Morales is so much better, but racists prefer this derivative knockoff pathetic character. That's the only way that they can make an argument for why Miles is so great in their minds. But just from what you guys described, there's so much different and unique about Terry that makes him his own character. The setting alone, setting it so far into the future, is already doing enough to separate it from Batman's normal storytelling, his own rogues gallery, and just everything you described. Whereas Miles Morales, they gave him lightning powers, venom powers, and then everything else is the same.
They keep power scaling him to handle shit.
They have to make him better than Peter. That's the whole mindset behind this. And these people who are lapping up Miles' stories love that he's getting more and more relevant, more and more powerful, because it's all about the race to them. It's all about racism. That's what their whole worldview with Miles is centered around. He's the focal point for racism in comic books in their minds.
And there was that rumored Batman Beyond movie that got canned. If that had come out, that would have made money because people are hungry for that.
Yeah.
People
that
want
was really good.
a Terry McGinnis story. Terry deserves justice. He deserves more.
I agree.
Yeah. I'd love it if they not rebooted it, but went back to it. Because, I mean,
at this point, I'd rather just let it live in my memory.
I know, but it's so good. We have the epilogue. We do have the epilogue from that. And then he shows up again in the effed up, mixed up time travel episode where they're jumping after the guy who's creating what is it, Mr. Paradox, Captain Paradox?
Yeah. With the belt, and he's jumping and changing the future because he keeps grabbing things from the past and putting it into the
and we do get a shot of a younger Terry and Bruce from the Batman Beyond point, and and then in doing that, and it's hard, and that's such an effed up episode because Terry dies during that.
He does,
and Bruce because he gets everything's so out of control.
And gets electrocuted to death, I believe.
Yeah, and you hear Bruce just like broken on the other end.
Yeah,
and then that has one of my favorite Bruce Batman moments where young Bruce Batman, they're trying to interrogate one of the Joker gang, and he goes, "Was I ever that green?"
Yeah,
and this is how you interrogate scum.
Someone. That joke was great.
That's good.
That was great. See, once again, let me live that in my memory. I don't want these new age psychopaths getting their hands on my gold and sodomizing it in front of me. I don't want to see that. I rather just let it live on and let me like legitimately fanfic forward on where else it needs to go. I don't.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing: these people are the same exact people that suck James Gunn's dick. Let's be honest. These are the same exact people that shield for him, that run cover for him, that do all that kind of stuff, where they are very happy to pretend that what's going on in Peacemaker season 2 is perfectly fine.
God in heaven.
I mean, last week we got the reveal that it's all Nazi Earth X, zippity doo dah, and now it's translated to the whole, hey, if you support this, if you're angry at this, you're a Nazi. And
that's the wildest mess.
It's all crazy. But they doubled down on it this week, and we start with this right here. Let me bring this up. Get the right one here. That's not it. Don't tell me I accidentally killed it. No, here we go. So we start with this right here. James Gunn gave an interview to GQ this week. It's a long interview. We're not obviously going to read the whole thing because I can't bring it up because Chrome can kiss my ass. But I do have the screen cap of the question in order. It's the question that made the rounds. James Gunn basically saying, if you don't agree with what I'm doing, you are a racist. It's essentially what he's suggesting. But let's look at the cold question for context here. This is GQ. Sure, Peacemaker has become the flagship show, though. The next chapter after Superman, and yet it's as weird and specific as it always has been. Does that delight you as much as it delights me? This actually...
What is that question?
It's a
I don't
circle
know.
jerk. What is this?
That was a wild question.
Does this make you horny? What?
It does make James Gunn horny, because the first half of this question is so telling. I'm going to read this, and then I've already reacted this on stream and video. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. The show delights me. I really do whatever I want with Peacemaker. And I mean, in one respect, I do whatever I want with anything because I am able to make my own choices and I'm my own boss.
Now, that's what's making him horny, is just being the boss.
Power fantasy.
Mhm.
Power fantasy. But with Peacemaker, we really let it go. We take chances. We go to places where I think other people are afraid to go. We got a lot of pushback from various sources within the structure on this episode in particular. And we're like, let's not be bashful about this. Let's just do the story that we want to do. And I don't want to have to pull punches with it. Okay, that first thing right here. He literally just said nobody has oversight on him at Warner Brothers Discovery. Nobody.
He can do whatever he wants.
So that means, guys, everything we see in this show, in Superman, Creature Commandos, Lanterns, Supergirl, nobody told him not to do this.
And that's the problem. Now, I hate to compare it this way, but I'm just going to use it briefly to go forward. When George did the prequel trilogy, he was pretty much essentially God.
He had yes men all around him. It was just yes men left and right. Yeah,
everywhere. There was no one to refute his word. Now, I was on record back then. I'm on record now. The prequel movies are not good films, not by any stretch of the imagination.
But I like them.
Have been, but I enjoy them.
Yeah,
there's things to enjoy about them, but they are not good films. Period. Now we're decades later. Now we have a psychopath at the helm. Okay, George loved Star Wars. Okay, it was his love child. This psycho doesn't know anything about nothing and just wants to tell stories that don't make no kind of sense, and that literally is teaching people the wrong messages, to say the least.
Yeah.
And to say that, oh, by the way, no one is standing in my way. This makes me believe wholeheartedly that he ain't got nothing to do with the success of Guardians. This is what this means to me.
Interesting.
This is what this means to me. That means, in my personal opinion, that there were enough people at Marvel to be like, hey, James, I see you doing something with Star-Lord there. Yeah, that seems a little wild. Let's change this. There's not an army of yes men surrounding him. This one ain't even about yes men. He the boss, he's the president, he's the king. And no one's going to question anything he does, even when it is detrimental to everyone. This is a recipe for, and that's not even a recipe for disaster. The disaster is in front of us. The disaster is in front of us. 3 times. Peacemaker, Superman, and Creature Commandos.
Yep.
3-time nonsense garbage in front of us. And his answer is, I get to jerk myself off. Yes, Lord. And everybody is going to sit there and watch, and no one's going to stop me. Matter of fact, you there, GQ, hand me some lube. This is the answer that he just gave. That's insane. Insane. Golly, man. Like, yeah. It's not even disappointing. It's insane. And to say the quiet part out loud.
Yes, that's the thing. Nobody tells me what to do. That means he basically goes like this to Zaslav. It must be in his contract. It must be that he has clear autonomy.
Who would sit there and be like, I got this contract for you, baby? What's the contract? You can do anything.
Because Warner Brothers was, when they did this, they are historically a reactionary company.
They
react to what everybody else does to try and speed run to catch up and grab a hold of the traction. And here we are. James Gunn likely, I've heard this and I agree with it. This is not my original thought. I can say that. I'm not going to steal it. He likely saw what happened with Zack Snyder and said, listen, I want full control. I want full control over everything. What about Peter Safran? He's also co-president. Oh, but he runs the business side. I guess that doesn't count.
Yeah, he's just there to keep the money flowing for James.
All right, now
Exactly.
Jed, this next part. Here we go. So we got like Drake just said, the quiet part was said out loud. I'm in control. Now it pairs with this next part. And it's interesting because there hasn't been that sort of, now that I find that weird. He just starts to say something and then he completely shifts gears. I have a few racists that have called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing, letting racists fall by the wayside. People have loved this episode the most, so it's exciting. Jed, 2 weeks in a row of Nielsen says otherwise.
Yeah, no, nobody's watching this. It's fallen off the Nielsen's with virtually no real competition. It's embarrassing how much Peacemaker is failing, but making these sorts of arguments, making these bold statements that anyone who doesn't like the show is racist or only racists are calling it polarizing is just a way to protect yourself. That's what we see with all these shows. They inject a lot of this, alphabet stuff, a lot of these politics to say, hey, if you don't like it, that's just because you're a bad person. And it makes the publicity seem good. This man has no idea how to work in the public affairs sphere. He's never really been able to do that well, as we see with his initial sort of cancellation back in the Disney days. He doesn't know how to deal with the public. He doesn't know what they think. He doesn't know how to communicate with them. He doesn't know how to represent other people other than himself. So he's constantly putting his foot in his mouth, saying what he's thinking. Like you said, the quiet part out loud. He doesn't realize that there should be a quiet part to everything he's doing. Even a good business, there are things that need to be kept quiet and just don't need to be at the forefront. He doesn't realize that. So his ego takes over and he has to say, I'm the greatest person in the world. I love what I wrote. And if the public doesn't understand that, it's probably for explainable reasons. They're dismissible. And with this one, racism's the easy way to dismiss people. And that's all he's going to do. He's going to keep dismissing everyone who doesn't think he's God. And it's only going to make his ego worse. And I think we're actually seeing the beginning of his ego trip. I think it's only going to get worse.
Oh,
because the more he dismisses, the more his ego is going to grow. And the more power he has. He has evidence right now that he hasn't been stopped. Early on, he could have been like, all right, testing the waters. Will they let me get away with this? Will they let me get away with this? With Peacemaker Season 2, he really proved that he has carte blanche. What are we going to see next? I think it's only going to get worse from here.
It's only going to get worse. And you say we now go to Peacemaker Season 2 because this shows us all the evidence we need of what he thinks. I'm not going to play the clip. We're just going to go with the stills where that black chick, when they're talking about being in Earth X, the sad part is, and by the way, she's talking to some gay Buddhist character called Judo Master. Don't ask me.
A little Asian twink.
Yeah. Okay. Good way to put it. Who describes they don't like any of that stuff. And she says, sad part is, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is as different from our world as we wish it was.
Yeah, as established in this episode, all non-white people are kept in camps.
But they don't show it.
Freaks the fuck out when they see a black person saying, one got out. That's the world where just existing as a brown person results in imprisonment and immediate arrest just for existing. And yeah, that's the same as being able to be a Hyatt member of Argos or whatever it is in season 1 that she's a part of, or the FBI or whatever she was.
And Waller, whatever Waller's doing.
Yeah, whatever Waller's running.
Argus.
Yeah, that's what it is. Argus in season 1, and her mother being the most influential clandestine leader in the world. Yeah,
Amanda freaking
Waller. She can't exist in a world that's as bad as she's claiming that her world is. This is laughable. This is what makes it clear that it's a political message. Some people are trying to explain it away and just like, oh yeah, Nazis are an easy go-to villain. And that's true. Nazis have been villains in storytelling for ages and ages, but it's never been used to make a comparison to this degree as in the modern era. And if you had any doubt, this is proof that they wanted to make a real world comparison. This isn't just an easy, these are the bad guys thing.
James Gunn wrote this.
And that's the problem. Here's my issue. And of course, they had to have the black girl say it, obviously, for protection. Yeah. But here's my issue. you depicted Nazism as a good
Mhm.
thing. That's
There's
the problem.
no crime.
If
Everything's
you
clean.
depicted, and Ruben X said it actually well, and I think you mentioned it last week, Adam. Crisis on Earth X, the CW did it way better. They showed that a totalitarianistic regime is horrid. People were in fear of their lives. People did not want to go out. People were afraid of Gestapo, police. Absolute terror was controlling people, white or otherwise. You created a show that has a utopia, which proves the mustache man was right. I'm
they're
going
saying.
to repeat myself. You created a show that proved that the mustache man was right. And you think that anybody that says something otherwise is the racist? You crack-filled, heroin-smoking, porch monkey, white smoke, chocolate-eating moron. You're the racist. Is anybody else understanding this? You telling the audience, I created a Nazi regime in my show, and I show nothing but positivity from the regime. You're the racist.
Yet they're telling us, because we're reacting so negatively towards this, we're the racists and the Nazis. Because we're identifying with it. We're not identifying with anything. We're pointing out that James Gunn is simply saying, if white people take over, Nazism's going to happen.
And not only that it will be a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's just terrible writing. The reason why it's portrayed as a good thing is he wanted it to be a twist. He wanted it to be not obvious until he picks up the flag and sees the swastika and sees the mural, and he has to be pointed out. He misses a 20-foot mural on the wall that shows the mustache man in behind an American flag and being all triumphant and whatnot. He wanted to hide that fact, and the only way he could do that was to make the world not look bad until after the reveal. So it's just lazy writing that made this conflicting message. And I don't know if you've seen some of the other clips, Dre. I love the clips because there's a point where the entire world finds out that there's this black lady out on the loose, and the entire suburbs rise up, and the white people are running out of their houses to chase her down, and there's this mob of white people following her with women and children involved, and the chase sequence is just hilariously bad. She's so fat that they had to use 4 cuts to show her going over a waist-high fence.
No.
It was clear that just like, all right, she got as far as she could, reset, get her a stool, get her up. All right, ready, set, and go. Oh, she did as far as she could. And then for some reason, she jumps in a swimming pool. All the racists jump in the pool with her. Then she's pulled out, and little Asian twink electrocutes all 100 people to death in the swimming pool that climbed in,
and
including women. And it looks like there might be teenagers. And he's very happy. It's like, they're Nazi, so we get to kill them all. The women and the children, too.
But once again, that proves the wrong message. Again. Drake, because they had a utopia, and now the Asian is committing grisly murder.
Drake, gets worse. That same little twink Asian in this conversation where they're talking about what this world hates, he goes, they hate the Buddhists like me, they hate the gays like me, they hate the brown people like you. And she goes, Jesus Christ, and then he goes, oh no, they love him.
That's not accurate at all.
Yeah, it's Christian white nationalism, Nazism. That's what the world is in this universe.
Wait. Oh,
yeah.
History time, everyone.
Here we go.
History time. Yeah. Okay. The Mustache Man was devoted to his political and religious deities of his versions of Christianity. It was not absolute Christianity at all, by any stretch. Not only in Nazi concentration camps, not only were there Jews locked up, but there were also gypsies, different versions of Christianity, like Jehovah's Witnesses, all these different groups that were different sects of religious bases of Christianity were also locked up and dubbed with a purple triangle on their shirts. It dubbed them unworthy. And this is including people that are of Aryan descent. This man was not pro-Christian by any freaking means. Who are the researchers for this show?
Oh, they don't have researchers. These
James
political
Gunn.
people, these far left people, they see anyone who disagrees with them as the same monolithic entity. Oh, Christians don't like my alphabet style. They're obviously Nazis. Everything that they don't like is lumped into one entity. It's moronic.
These people are insane. Like my thing is, you're trying to make a twist and all that stuff. Like, do your freaking homework. Just do your homework.
It's not that hard.
It's not hard.
It is hard because that requires effort and work and caring about what you're doing and being accurate and not pushing propaganda. This is propaganda to feed guys like this fucking piece of joke shit who go, she's simply too real, I fear, with flags in their bios and locking their replies so they can't be challenged on their essentially ideology that is their religion.
And I got to say something about black folks real quick. I really have to say something. We as a colored people, we need to stop taking roles like this. I ain't going to hold for this fat black Aunt Jemima looking woman to get up here and have this. Oh, well, you know, because apparently there's concentration camps everywhere in America. And apparently my black tail right now is in a box and y'all just can't tell.
Oh,
yeah. like the rhetoric that they keep putting black folks or whoever else, usually black people, in these positions for these roles. Be like, okay, I want you to say something that's obscene and ridiculous, but since you're black, people won't come after you. The line that this is sitting in front of us here is absolutely ridiculous and not true on any conceivable or measurable metric.
Dre, do you know the history behind this scene and this script? Do you know the history for her and James Gunn? Do you know this?
Yeah,
you heard the story?
He brought it to her and said, "Is it okay?" Let me tell you something.
Got her permission.
He got her permission, and this is my thing. Two reasons. There's two things I have to address in this. First of all, what if she said no? What if she said no? Is he going to change his script?
Well, no one has to tell him what
Absolutely
to
not.
do.
They're going to get some other black fat Aunt Jemima to come up here and do it.
You've been recast.
Period. And on the flip side, her saying yes is an insult to
She got excited. She loved the idea and it's like, please. And apparently there were suggestions to make it worse. Like she fueled this fire.
Like we as a people, as in coloreds, we really have to stop allowing allowing dumb white crack-filled heroin addict bath salts up the penis people to make us say wild stuff on screen. We have to like look, all these other movements, all this, oh yeah, black excellence and blah, blah, blah. No, stop. This, I'm gonna be as clear as I can. This is the equivalent of me tap dancing on stage for coins. Okay. This is what the equivalent is. Oh yes, sir, Mr. Sir. Oh yes, indeed. Oh, I wish I could put myself to the back of this wall faster. That's what the equivalent of this is.
Are you saying you don't want to be the monkey to the organ grinder?
100% no. And the idea that black folks, it's not just her, all of them keep doing this. Oh, what's that? You gotta do better, Senator. It's the same thing. Well, let's get this dumb colored to come up here and say some foolishness and then be protected by their blackness. So we as white people can say, we did a great job. Yes. Look at the nigger dance. It's a freaking waste of my time. And I'm tired of seeing like we talk about like folks are like, oh, we're fighting against the tropes of seeing black people being blah 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 blah. But we got every time we on screen, we're freaking Uncle Tom. Every time.
Do you think they're going to do any better for Jon Stewart in Lanterns?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He will be sacrificed on the altar, and I'm gonna have to.
He's going to say some horrible shit. He's going to.
They get arrested by cops. That's the one thing we know that's going to happen in the Midwest or like Arizona or something like that.
Yeah.
There's going to be you arrest me just because I'm black. There's got to be something like that. And it might be even true. They might be going for a Rambo type story where John Stewart gets the
No,
cops
don't say it
after him
out
just
loud.
because he's black.
Don't say
I
it
could
out
see that
loud.
happening.
These
Yeah,
demons can hear you. Don't say it
So
out
I mean,
loud.
so this is James Gunn to the T. I don't want to ever hear again, oh, James Gunn, he didn't mean it. Oh, shucks, he doesn't know what he's doing. No, he admits right here, I know exactly what I'm doing. No one tells me what to do. I'm going to write it on screen.
He's lost all goodwill he's lost the right to goodwill. He's
Absolutely.
lost the right to have people give him the benefit of the doubt. I was looking forward to his universe when it was first announced. I loved the Suicide Squad. I thought, hey, there's a creator in charge.
Yep.
It's not like the businessmen who were behind it all just trying to chase Marvel's dragon the whole time. Maybe it can be good. But then every single thing he says, everything he does, everything he makes has been terrible and divisive and aggressively offensive to the public in general, but to the source material. He's lost all right to goodwill. And to see people defending it just because I liked a lot of Superman, so I have to defend everything he does to make myself feel better about my liking of this movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of bitch made, honestly. I mean, you can like the movie. There are things to like in Superman. I don't blame anyone for liking that. But the fact that you have to go out of your way to defend everything he says and does just to justify your enjoyment of that film is insane. Sometimes you just like a bad movie or just have different opinions about a movie. That's fine. But these statements, you can't argue that these statements are good.
Your point is perfect, though. Because they liked Superman, they must defend Peacemaker season 2. Because James Gunn said it's so important. Because Lex Luthor has appeared in it. Because it's linking everything together going forward. It's the next stage. They have to defend it because then if Peacemaker isn't good, then maybe Superman wasn't as good as they glazed it to be for the month that it was in theaters. Remember, it was only in theaters for a month and a little over a week and a half later.
The final episode will tie directly into Man of Tomorrow. Peacemaker season 2 is required viewing to understand Superman.
But
2.
I thought you didn't have to do homework with the DCU, James Gunn. You don't have to do homework. James Gunn is a liar. He's also a liar because guess what? The authority's not dead after all.
Get the freak out of here.
James Gunn reaffirms the authority isn't dead and that he's recently had conversations with the creator about the project. It's the one that got messed with because of everything else that was happening. The script had a harder time coming together. There's a really good creator who spoke to me the other day. There's
nothing.
There's no
nothing.
script. It hasn't started here.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Then why talk about it? Then why bring it up?
Because people are questioning his roadmap. As I mentioned a month ago, the roadmap was supposed to be the road to El Dorado, and you gave me a road to dirt, hill, and diarrhea. That is what you've given me. And now people are like, hey, wasn't there supposed to be an authority thing? Why the heck are you jumping to a second Superman movie already when we haven't even established any of the big three, not even any of the things on your stinking roadmap? I talked to this baby monkey from around the corner, and we were behind a 7-Eleven, and it gave me a little kilo, and then it's coming. Like this, yo, just stop.
Dre,
just stop talking.
I was making clips, and I came across our conversation from a month and a half ago, where World's Finest would have fixed a lot of problems.
Ooh, yeah.
You know the title, World's Finest. And you and everybody would go, ooh, hey, okay. If that's how we're going to introduce Batman, that would be good. Let's do World's Finest. But instead of Batman v Superman, how about World's Finest? But James Gunn doesn't understand any of this. All he understands is I like the authority because probably these two dudes are butt effing. So that's what we're going to put it in there. Because
he likes obscure shit. He prides himself on being non-mainstream. Yeah. And that's going to be devastating to the mainstream superheroes. These are the most mainstream superheroes that you get. You've got Superman and Batman. There's nothing more mainstream than them besides Spider-Man. And he doesn't like that they're mainstream. He likes being different. He likes being niche. And it's going to cause more and more issues for these characters. I'm terrified to see what Batman looks like in his universe, how that man will be desecrated. I think it's going to be far worse than Superman because he's talked about it. He doesn't understand Batman. He even admitted that Batman's not a character that he gets behind, that he understands.
But he loves Damian Wayne.
Of course he loves.
But here's the problem. And Jed, I everything you're saying, I agree with 110%. Here's my issue. If you're in charge, hire someone that understands Batman and let them make it and sit at home doing bath salts up your penis and collect your check. The
His ego
end.
won't let him.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
insane. Like, oh, I don't know about Batman, but I'm gonna do something anyway and ruin him. Why? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna start with Damian Wayne. Why? I don't know who Batman's gonna be. Why? I'm gonna do another Superman movie. Why? Where's Wonder Woman? I don't know. What do you do? You
She's
don't
having
know what
orgies on the Mascara.
you do. How you- I don't know
Mhm.
where we went wrong as a society when people crowned this man the king of the nerds. What happened? What happened?
I don't
I
know.
miss
Who
when
crowned
Josh
him?
Whedon was the king of the nerds. There were
At
some
one
issues
At least
in
the
that
TV
era.
was good then. The TV was
Yeah.
good.
TV was good. Joss Whedon knew what he was doing with TV.
Yeah.
Just his films just couldn't translate that well. But TV, he was a freaking king. He was a boss. I
As
don't
much as
understand, man.
as much as I didn't love the Batman and have issues with it, I liked it, but I had issues with it. Matt Reeves understood Batman way better
Yeah.
than James Gunn ever can. So
100%.
just say, all right, you've started a movie. We'll pretend that's the start of the DCU going forward and integrate Robert Pattinson. There's enough love for that version of the character. There's enough foundation and a creative who at least semi understands the character more than James Gunn. That's the way forward. But instead, he's going to do Elseworlds and confuse the shit out of normies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's going to confuse the shit out of him. It's going to be disastrous.
It will be,
And
and we'll be here for it.
I do want to ask you both a question while we're talking about the Authority movie real quick.
Okay.
I know a lot of people reacted poorly when the Authority movie was announced. Like, what's the point of this? It's too early and stuff like that. Do you think Superman would have been better, the movie, if it had been the Authority rather than the Justice Gang? Would that have changed the dynamic of the film in a positive direction?
I think it would have been better because the Authority should have been the antagonist then,
Mhm.
and that would have
More
given
antagonistic.
And
I think
then
that
it's
would have been better.
then it's
I
not
agree.
it's not an ensemble movie. Then it's Superman versus a team because it would take a team to give him trouble. And then
I
we
like
can
the
believe it.
reference. I like Adam. I agree with that as well. Like if they did, like there was an animated movie that they did a few years ago called Superman versus the Elite, which was a, it was a minor. That comic was a minor run. It wasn't even really that big, but
Mhm.
it was actually able to feature an obscure group of superheroes, which would turn villains and whatever to face off against Superman. And the whole principle of it was Superman was holding back the whole time. And then when he put the fear of God into them, they actually got themselves together. I think that would have been a much better way to at least to depict and introduce these characters, because no one knows who the Authority is. Tell the truth and shame the devil, like 5 people on Earth do.
Mhm.
And I think that would have been a good way to introduce these characters and actually make it a wait for it Superman movie, and not a movie that's featuring Superman in it. So yes, I think it would have been better. I don't think it'd been great, but
No.
then again, you can only go up, quite frankly, when it comes to the quality of that film, quite in my opinion.
Yeah. So DCU, Peacemaker's got one more episode next week. Then DCU's done until Lanterns and Supergirl next year. So, but that's not going to stop James Gunn from talking. We won't have anything to talk about specifically, but I'm sure he will then reintroduce himself to the conversation because, as Jed pointed out, he's a narcissist. He's an egomaniac. He has to make every story about him. It's not about the movie. It's about him. James Gunn's starring James Gunn. It's what it is. And we're going to get to that point where I have to believe that at some point there's going to be a cracking in the unlimited defense of what he's doing. They can't keep this up. They tried to tell us this week with the fake news, not fake news, the manipulated news that Superman premieres on HBO Max, #1. It's streaming.
Yeah,
They manipulate those numbers
Doesn't
to be
matter, yeah.
your #1 for your subscribers. And I have to sneeze. Hang on. Excuse me. #1 to your subscribers is #1 to your subscribers. Great. But you
New
didn't
stuff
get it.
always goes high. Even like
Yes.
Disney movies on Disney Plus, you see these terrible movies. Like Elio's
Yeah.
going to get a bump. It's going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, it's the most popular movie on Disney Plus." New stuff's always going to garner more interest
Exactly.
in the short term.
For their subscribers, for the people who have it, they're going to watch it. But that doesn't change that Superman 2025 was in the theaters for 45 to 50 days, made a paltry $615 million, $14 million worldwide, excuse me, and lost in reality hundreds of millions of dollars. And split what should have been a united, happy fan base excited for new DC movies. Very simple. And once again, I regret the fact that during the period of time we didn't get a chance to talk about the complete and total protection that movie had, like nothing we've ever seen before. But they had it, and it's translated now into we must, as I said, because you protected Superman. Everybody who protected Superman now must find a way to rationalize, suffer cognitive dissonance to protect Peacemaker Season 2, to protect Lanterns. Supergirl, that's going to be a different thing. That's going to be the simp army protecting Millie Alcock. That's a completely different thing. But it will still have the protectors, the defenders, Clayface. For some goddamn reason, they're going to protect that movie. And then Man of Tomorrow, which is going to be more serious, guys. I mean, he ran so far away from his commitment to making things more comic booky. He's on record saying now, Man of Tomorrow is going to be a little more serious because we have to deal with Lex Luthor as one of the heroes in this now, one of the protagonists.
They're following the pattern of Aquaman. I think the second one's going to be a buddy cop thing like Aquaman 2.
Oh, definitely. You're not wrong. It's going to be, we're kind of butting heads together. Oh, I'm going to be Lex's security guard as we let him out of prison to deal with Brainiac.
He's unable to separate that sometimes you can like a villain and still see them as a villain. It seems like he thinks, hey, I like this character, so I must make him a hero. It's the same thing he did with Yondu, but he did that very well with Yondu, in my opinion. But yeah, it's because he liked it and his fans responded positively to this version of Lex Luthor. So, I got to make him a good guy now. No, you can still have great villains that you love as villains. Thanos and Darth Vader are great examples of that. But Darth Vader, he does have an arc of that, of course. But yeah, I think it's a very childish understanding of villains.
It is. But it's James Gunn. And I think this is James Gunn. I kind of agree with Dre's sentiment. I think everything that came before was a lie to an extent. What we have now, this is James Gunn, pure and simple. We can see this, we understand it, and he's not lying to us when he says, I have control, I do whatever I want, and no one's going to stop me. And y'all better like it, or I'm going to call you racist. We played that game, and guess what? We're winning that game, they're losing it. But on the other side of things, talking of streaming services that pretend what they show is number one, when in fact it's failing. Jed and I run a little show every 2 or 3 years called This is Mordor Country, where we subject ourselves and others to dealing with Rings of Power on Amazon.
We're still going to get Dre on there at some point.
You don't even have to watch the episode. Just be there and react to what we're telling you.
Sit there dumbfounded, not even knowing the lore, but still confused somehow that they got it wrong even more so.
Yeah.
I think you should watch the one episode, just basically what you did for Alien Earth. Come into a really bad episode with no context and just see if you can figure out what's going on. That's comedy gold.
I won't argue against that. That sounds pretty fun.
All right, but so they're currently working on Rings of Power Season 3 in England, mind you. So it's overseas, and we'll know the receipts because they're going to have to tell us the budget.
I can't wait for those numbers.
And numbers are, Jed says that the numbers are important. Numbers are important because we know that this series has already cost them essentially $1 billion for the first 2 seasons. Most expensive television show in history. Not cumulatively as expensive as all of Disney Star Wars, what they've done, but a single series, expensive as hell. So we got some set leaks, and we have spent 2 seasons making fun of how it looks, and it ain't getting no better. There's Fembrond. What's going on here? What is going on here? This is terrible. Then we can scroll down here. We got. I don't think I can make these any larger, unfortunately. This is the only site I could find that had them all collected. It looks like we have a group of people in bad costume designs. I think it's supposed to be Numenorians and elves coming together. Morfemron, Gilgalad. Oh my lord. Why is he wearing a skirt? What is this?
That's your question. I can answer that for you.
Now, these shots are so much better when you zoom in. There's actually
Yeah.
a shot where it looks like there's still a tag from a
I
purchased piece of
think-
armor.
I think we can find out. I think I know what one you're talking about. I think I've seen it. It's a reverse thing. It's not this one. It's here's make Numenor great again. I don't think it's not in this set here, but I've seen that what you're talking about, where the tag is on the back of the inside of a gauntlet, and it's terrible. This thing looks cheesy and shit, and it's cost them $1 billion, and this one's already rising up here. Word has it, this is already at least $500 million for this season. That's the word. But I'm on the record. This thing. Oh, there it is right there. There it is. There it is.
I have the zoomed in version. pulled
Okay.
up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got to remove it. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. I noticed it. There it is right there. Yeah. There it is. It's a tag.
This is some Spirit Halloween shit. We've been doing that as a joke this whole time, but it might actually be some Spirit Halloween shit.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of the behind-the-scenes clips of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy and seeing the love and care put into every aspect of that design. There was a guy who his whole job was to hand-make chainmail for months on end, and it took him 2 to 3 days per set, and you had to make it for a ton of extras as well. And he was smiling the whole time. It's like, I'm going to make Lord of the Rings. I don't care if I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again for months on end. You'd never see something like that from Rings of Power. That attention to detail.
Well, they don't
or
care.
That excitement.
Because they don't care. It's just a job. It's not love. It's not appreciation for what the professor created. So you see this stuff here, and we know that they're not taking any of this seriously. But there are those out there who think it is, and they think it's going to go the full 5 seasons. And I've been mentioning before. I think it's escape hatch. It has the escape hatch at a 3rd season. But we have now learned that Amazon can't just cancel this without what they call the financial kill fee to the Tolkien estate. So let's read this. We're at Park Place because they got the story pretty summed up well for us.
Well, now, to be clear, we've speculated about this kill fee for years now. There's been rumors about it, but now we finally have some of the concrete numbers, and it makes a lot of our predictions, especially Adam's predictions, solidify a lot more.
That it was always an option to just people said, "Oh no!" The people who called us incels and hate-filled, angry nerds, this and that, racist, bigots, homophobes, all that kind of stuff, said, "You just hate this. It's going to get 5 seasons. You can't stop it. It's happening." Well, no, apparently they built it in. As I said from the very beginning, there had to be a parachute, an escape hatch clause to get out of it if it's sinking. And here it is. And we now, like Jed said, we get some actual numbers in this. So let's read this real quick. When Amazon Prime Video launched Rings of Power, I will not call it Lord of the Rings. Excuse me. The company envisioned its own Game of Thrones. Instead, the show has become a staggering money pit, one that continues to drain resources and limit opportunities for the rest of Amazon's content slate. According to the Ankler, the first season alone cost $465 million, not counting the $250 million Amazon paid for global rights to Tolkien's work. So we're essentially at $700+ million right now. Then put marketing into this. You're at $1 billion. And taxes and all those things. We're at $1 billion, okay?
For the first season.
For the first season, exactly. Amazon has still spent well over $750 million just to get the show on the air. So there it is. This is $1 billion on season 1. And yet reports show that only 37% of domestic Prime subscribers finished first season. That's old news. We know about that. It paled off. Now, here's where we get to it. Here's the new meat. The cruel truth is that Amazon may not be able to cancel Rings of Power. Or even if it wants to, the Tolkien State kill fee is fee ensures, and Jed, you asked me this last night, is it for every episode? And there it is right there. Kill fee ensures that every unfinished season costs the company another $20 million to just walk away. So I think I misconstrued last night when we were talking about this. I thought it was every episode. So it's just $20 million for the season. They still owe 2 more seasons. So that's a $40 million.
Yeah, that's the cheaper option.
It is.
I think when season 3 utterly fails, that they're going to use this option. 40 million is a lot more palatable cost than an additional $1.5 billion for the final 2 seasons when all said and done.
Yeah. So this seems legitimate. And it kind of now, when we look at the option, either spend 40 million to pay off for seasons 4 and 5, because the contracts are for 5 seasons, either pay 40 million or go to a season 4 for another $500 million to $1 billion. Because if season 1,
I thought it was because it was 20 million an episode. That's what we were talking about.
That's what we thought.
That made a lot more
I
sense.
read
When they're like, all right, maybe they're continuing on because it's cheaper to make the show than it is to cancel the show. But with that clarification that it's 20 million a season, they're already stupid money men over there making these decisions, spending this much money on a season of television. But even they should be able to look at that and say it's cheaper to cancel. Let's pull out.
Even the Amazon board of directors will see that we can't spend another $500 million on a show that gets us no subscribers, that sells no merch, that is not bringing more people to the platform of Prime, but to our actual moneymaker, Amazon.com. So I am more convinced than ever that season 3, they're going to pull that. They're going to wrap it up. They're going to rush to the War of the Last Alliance. They're going to rush to the One Ring just to get this shit done. They're going to another 8 episodes, because that would make it a total of 24 episodes, and they're done. Because
it's interesting that they use the term season here, because the contract that we knew about was either 50 episodes or 50 hours of content as their thing, and how that's being negotiated and whatnot or defined. But if it's 20 million per season, there are a few other things that they could do, like you're saying, rush and finish Rings of Power and try to make 2 ridiculously cheap seasons of a spin-off show, like I don't know, a Gollum. They don't have rights to Gollum, but just some random character, make a really cheap 3-episode season shows that's below $20 million per season. They could try to do that. I don't know if it has to be Rings of Power. Their rights aren't for Rings of Power. Their rights are for 5 seasons of some television. So with this clarification, I think there might be other options, but Rings of Power itself, whether or not it's a different show or anything like that, Rings of Power is done after this season.
I think it is. And here's the thing also. Remember, the people who put this deal together, they're not there anymore at Amazon Studios. They're gone. Jennifer Salke and her motley crew, they're gone. Everybody that's been involved with her has either left or been fired or removed to other projects, and then summarily had those projects canceled. So this thing is cooked. It's over. And we'll get one more glorious season of Mordor Country out of this, but I love that it's getting this much revealed, that we know we're seeing the sausage. And I like being right. I like having evidence pointing to my analysis being true. Because and your option of your idea that they may just try and squeak it out to short seasons, because
it can't be Rings of Power though, because that's just too expensive what they need to tell. So if they don't cancel it outright, I'd see it being a spin-off show.
Yeah. Or a movie, a shitty 1.5-hour movie, because that's all these are.
Well, would that count for one of the seasons?
If they split it into, if they called it a miniseries, maybe. If they split it into 2 parts, maybe.
No.
I don't know. It all depends on what the fine print are in the contract, but I truly think they're going to pull an escape hatch after this one. It's costing too much money. It's too much ridicule, and nobody likes it. They referred to the numbers again here. Nobody watched this show. Honestly, nobody did, except us. We suffered for it, for your entertainment. And we'll do it again in 2 years when season 3 comes out, because they're still working on it, which means they're going to spend another year in post-production to get it ready.
Yeah,
and
we're not seeing this till 2027, I'd say. Early 27, but...
Yeah, when they start doing... when the actors start talking in interviews, then we'll know it's going to happen soon. All right, so we had to... An oldie but goodie, an old favorite punching bag. We had to check in on that because it was there. Now, with the time we have left, the gaming world. It's on fire. The gaming world as we know it is on fire, and some people are the dog in the meme. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We got all these great games coming out, or the thing now, so many strong women in video games, and if you don't, have you seen this one? If you don't like women in video games, this could be real tough for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I've seen a lot of people do nearly that identical post.
Yeah, that one's been going around, the one I replied to. But point is this: no, we don't have a problem with women in video games. We have a problem with shitty characters.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem with shitty characters. And guess what? Women can be shitty characters as much as men, and they exist.
I mean, just look at how much
yeah.
you and I loved Expedition 33.
Mm.
The main character, very arguably, not the playable character, but the main character is a woman.
Yeah.
Or a teenage girl. Verso and Gustav are not the pivotal characters. They're just the playable characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Mael, this is her story, her tragedy, her depression, her coping with grief, and her family's coping with grief. And I have no problem with that. No, dude, when I first heard the early talking of the game before I played it, and I heard, here's the trick to make Mael an unstoppable killing machine. I'm like, why would I want to make her a killing machine? Is she the main character? But I'm playing as Gustav. What's going on here? And then, of course, you get into the game and realize, oh, no, this game is designed to make Mael an extreme annihilator of all things entirely. She's
the god killer.
Exactly. Jed knows. This game cannot be won without Mael. She's the only way you win in this game when on the hardest difficulty, no matter what. Her damage output, if you tweak her just right, millions upon millions of points of damage in a go if she strikes it right with the algorithm for the skills. So Mael is the main character, and she's fantastic, and it's a great story. No problem with it. But let's start with this then. This happens, right? This conversation is happening only because we are dealing with the fact that Sucker Punch has released Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei, which is the unasked for sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, a truly piece of artwork game. You know what I mean?
It's hard to call it a sequel because it's entirely divorced from it.
Yeah, that's my point. It's the sequel that isn't a sequel. It's the series. But of course, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Now, I've never heard of any, except for GameSpot and Games Radar. I've never heard of any of these people. Okay, we know who Game Rant is and PSU, but I don't ever heard of any of these things. But I might remind you, this is the same exact shit we got when Veilguard came out. Everybody said 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. We know how that turned out. After their claims of it's doing so well, it's doing so well. But we started with this. And I know you guys, just like me, for the past now, what was it, Tuesday? Did it come out on Tuesday or Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Let's say for the past 3 or 4 days, we have seen nothing but a constant glazing of Ghost of Yotei to sickening proportions. And I have a small collection to compare here and there. Small collection. Ghost Yotei makes Ghost Tsushima look like an average to below average game. It's crazy.
What?
I couldn't even listen to that with the straight face because Ghost of Tsushima is one of the greatest games for the last 20 years. Its story alone, but it was a visual masterpiece. It felt like a movie in all the best ways. It's not. I hate the common criticism, PlayStation movie game. No, it's a hard fucking game too.
Yeah.
But its story is the central aspect of it. And if you don't get choked up making the decision whether or not to face your uncle at the end of the game, you weren't playing it right. It was a masterpiece. And to act like this sequel is going to make it average is laughable. You don't need to denigrate the predecessor to uplift the sequel.
That is exactly how you know who you're dealing with. These people care about Ghost of Yotei because it's got a female protagonist whose mocap and voice actress is an activist, a disgusting activist, actually a terrorist, because her little group has been designated a terrorist organization bent on ruling the earth. And here's the thing. They don't care about the Ghost franchise. They care about their activist game. That's what they care about. So they have no problem shitting all over the game that made this franchise what it is in a very short amount of time. Very simply put. That's what we'll come back to that in a second, though. So this narrative is running out there, and I might have a couple more. These are actually, honestly, these are out of order. I did not intend to start with this one, but we started with it all the same.
What sucks with this game is it's so fucking polarizing. Because of her involvement into the film, there are a ton of people who aren't playing the game, or if they are playing the game, they're immediately saying this is the worst game ever. There's no redeeming qualities. It's terrible. So it's nearly impossible to find people giving it legitimate reviews.
Oh, we have to one though. We do have one.
We got a full extremes here. Either it's the greatest thing ever or it's the worst thing ever because the voice actress made political statements. When it comes to video games, I don't want either political polarizing elements in it. I just want someone to come in and say, hey, the story, it was this and that or whatnot. The gameplay is just like the original, so I really enjoyed that. Or just a review that focuses on the content of the story, not the real world ramifications of it. Yeah. And that's almost impossible to find.
And mind you, none of us here are playing this game. None of us here are going to play this game at this point. It's not on my list to do. But what we're doing here with this discussion, we are trying to parse, we're trying to figure out what's going on here. We have our opinions and feelings, but we are trying to figure out what's going on here. And like Jed said, there are people on, we'll just say our side of the table who are going after this and they haven't played it, but they're using the narratives of this woman's a horrible woman, or what Sucker Punch did a couple of weeks ago, which started the whole let's boycott this thing. But then you had the people like this. My Ghost of Yotei experience so far. Okay, totally going to do the main quest now. Oof, a wolf den. I don't even know what that means in this. Okay, back on the hunt. Ooh, a settler camp. Okay, for serious now, no distract. A fox den. Folks up, time to kill the Yotei 6. Oh, a bounty nearby. I love this game. Jed, that's no different than Tsushima. As we're heading down our track to do something, many things to distract us along the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of side activities to do. Cutting the bamboo stick is a really fun one, a little bit difficult. The hot springs, as long as you closed your eyes.
Every time you find a Mongolian war camp to skewer a region, or your companions, all of their side quests, which you don't need to complete to do the main game. You can blow by those. They won't be there to help you when you need them.
Yeah, you shouldn't blow past them, but you can.
Yeah, you can.
It gives you the choice, and I love that.
Or they say bounty nearby. Or how about when you find one of the legends to duel, to pick up their weapons, the weapon quests, the super skill quests. They're talking like this is something different than Tsushima.
And so, like it's crazy and it's groundbreaking that there's side content in an RPG.
Yeah. Okay, this one here, Reforged Gaming, one of the people that gave it, I believe. Let's go back to here. One of them that gave it a 10 out of 10. No, I thought I saw them on here. Excuse me, then I apologize. The snow and the view of Ghost Yotei is breathtaking. There are so many of these out there. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm walking towards the mountain. I'm shifting the screen. Oh my God. Shut up. You care more about how the game looks. I mean, all right, we're all gamers here. Some of us more PC than console. When they go, the ray tracing is so great. No gamers give a fuck about ray tracing. Dre, does anybody care about ray tracing?
Nope, not a one. Not a one.
No.
For those that are looking for a visual spectacle, this is the 21st century. Just about every game, that's what I say, just about every game is going to be visually impressive. Because if you're running even the Creation Engine or Unreal Engine or whatever one you're running, that jump makes real life look like it's fake. So yes, it's going to look visually appealing, but does the game play well? That's the question.
Yep. And then you have this type of thing. Now we're getting close to how well is it doing? How well is it doing? They all want to tell us it's doing great. All they care about are the graphics of that. And they say near perfect rating on the PlayStation Network store. Now I have PSN. I went onto the store and I looked at it. Yes, it has a 4.8 out of 5-star average rating with many thousand, like a few thousand people rating it. But here's the thing. This is a PlayStation exclusive. And if you are a diehard Sony bro, and if you're drinking this milkshake, you're going to go on there, you're going to buy it, and only the diehards hit that rating. Jed, you still on the PS4. Anytime you played a game on your PS4, did you ever go and rate it for the PlayStation Network?
I've never done that on Steam. All right,
Okay,
I
me
don't
neither.
even think
Me
about
neither.
doing those reviews on their platforms. If I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very special type of person who does stuff like that. And reviews can be used for like on Steam when something bad happens.
Reviews, but
Reviews,
but these ratings, they're meaningless.
they're fairly meaningless. And the thing I want to ask is, why is no one talking about the story? This is a story-driven game. All these positive glazings are, it's so pretty. Like Dre said, it's the 21st century. Pretty isn't enough. How does it play? How is the story? I'm one of those weird people who graphics are probably the bottom of my list when it comes to a game, mainly because I 60 frames per second. I don't know if I guess I'm weird. People tell me I'm a psychopath, but 60 frames per second weird out my eyes. Like my brain physically cannot wrap my head around. It immediately destroys my immersion. 30 frames per second is very ideal for me, or movies 24 frames per second. So when people are just glazing the fact that, oh, it runs 60 frames per second, I'm going to roll my eyes and disregard your review. And it's the same thing with ray tracing on all of this. It's not enough. Icing on the cake is not enough to make it good. A shit cake is still a shit cake, even if it's got good icing. You can dress up anything to make it look pretty.
14
Tell me
hours.
about the content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and they try to. Here's the thing. You look at this. They say 14 hours it goes to Yotei, and it's incredible. I effing love this game. It's very addicting. The open world is so much better than Tsushima. But you haven't actually told me anything. And all you're doing is showing me your trophy list. You got 1 silver and 10. Who gives a crap?
In 14 hours, that's all the trophies you got?
But the world is better than Tsushima. I guess they're wandering around, scratching their ass. And we've heard now a lot of things about the gameplay. We got a little education about it on Friday when we talked about the Ballbusters. Remember Ghost Mode, where you do something horrific to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies, and it's basically your super mode for like just 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, you brutally assassinate someone in graphic fashion, and it terrifies the shit out of the people around you.
Yeah, in this game,
it's a great mechanic.
In this game, her intimidation is to yell at people with a whammon's roar.
Have you seen this, Dre? She literally wham and screams people into submission.
Yeah, they stumble, they fall, like she goes, ah! It's ridiculous.
They played Skyrim and they thought, hey, that's a good idea, without realizing why that works in Skyrim.
Oda is the scream of a dragon, like a dragon, that mythical being of unlimited power dragon.
And
so let me
sometimes
guess.
they do spells.
And women hear me roar is what's the intimidation factor?
Oh, and she strikes the Jesus pose when she does it.
Not the Jesus pose.
And apparently now in Ghost of Tsushima, you had your katana and you had your dagger, which was the whole thing. You're using it to assassinate people, and that's part of Jin's whole conflict. Am I doing this? In this one, you have a whole assortment of weapons, and you are forced to use a weapon when fighting specific enemies. You don't get to just play whatever style you want. You're forced to use it every time. It feels like this game is going to cripple you. And now let's go to an actual review. Now, I checked up with Dermy on this one, who is my VTuber person, whether or not it's first legitimate. This person, Kitsu, is legitimate gaming VTuber. Not for reviews, just for giving it straight. Let's read what she had to say on this. I played like 4 hours of Ghost Yotei today. This is now, how many days ago? This is from 3 days ago. I'm assuming she's played more since then. But the game is aggressively mid. Story is all right. Nothing outstanding so far. Average revenge plot. The combat wants to be a duel where you are able to strike, block, and parry, and can learn even more things throughout the game. You get dual katanas very early on with an option to swap between 1 blade and 2 blades. But here it is. The game forces you to use which weapon you. Read that again. See, her words a lot of order there. English is not this person's first language, so it's going to be a little off here. But the game forces you which weapon to use against which enemy weapon. Solo blade against katana wielders, dual blades against spear wielders. The game has way too many gimmicks and mini games that seemingly are only there to show you what the PS5 controller can do and to artificially inflate the time you spend in the game. Instead of feeling immersed, it's unnecessary and a literal waste of time. For example, when camping in the open world, you have to start up your own fire by swiping up many times and hitting R2 over and over again. You have to cook your food by using the gyroscope of the controller and physically moving it down. Sure, cute gimmick, but no actual purpose was served. And having to do this every single time is just a waste of time. $80 for this is a waste. Do not spend your money on this. Don't even buy this on sale. Just replay the original. Now, it's a $70 game, but these are, I believe, she's Euro, so Euro is going to cost more. And Jed, when you just talked about a few minutes ago, you want a straightforward, no agenda of any kind in a breakdown. This is pretty straightforward.
Oh, this is refreshing. This is a legitimate review with nuance in it. It's giving me details. That's what I love. It's talking about the writing. It's a revenge plot. It's talking about the mechanics and how the game plays, how the weapon systems work. This is details that people need to know to make an informed decision of whether or not to play this game. This is what reviews should look like instead of, oh, it's so pretty and I love that it's a female protagonist. Or inversely, I hate the woman who plays the role of the main character, so there's no redeeming quality in this game whatsoever. Both worthless, empty, shallow reviews. This says something. Even if this was entirely positive, let's say that she loved all these aspects she's talking about hypothetically. She's at least giving me details and explaining her love for the game. So I wish more reviews like this were out there. I'm not going to buy this game. I had no intention before this, and this definitely solidifies this decision. But just it's a breath of fresh air to have a nuanced take on a game right now, especially this one with all the polarizing natures of it.
It sounds like to me, based on the Akitsu's thing, and once again, Dermy says this is a reliable VTuber, and Dermy has said this she's gotten a whole lot of pushback from those who are glazing the game. They've gone after her hard over this.
Why don't gamers just like playing video games? As
just
if you
play
have to
the game.
swallow everything.
Now, from hearing this, all I hear is that this seems to be a over gimmicked version of the first game. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what this sounds like to me, and I'm completely uninterested, especially if it's just. Here's the thing: Jin's story wasn't just a revenge story. It was a liberation story. It was a story of honor, a conflicting honor story. Can I descend to this? What deciding to become a monster to kill monsters, and that it was the only way to fight somebody who are not going to play by your rules of honor. His samurai rules of honor were not in play with Mongolians. They didn't give a shit. They were going to use every trick in the book to win, and they did. So he had to go farther, become something more than what he was. Use his skills as a samurai warrior, but then also learn the other skills, the skills of assassination. Every trick in the book: smoke bombs, sticky bombs, sparkle bombs, daggers, stars, everything under the sun, explosives, to win that war. And he did it in the game. And in the end, he had to make the ultimate decision. He had to kill the one man who he saw as his father, because that's the only choice. That's the only ending you choose. There is no other ending. You choose the other one, you didn't play the game right. I'm telling you that now. I will.
Same thing with Expedition 33. There is a correct ending to that game.
Correct ending, and it's a powerful, bittersweet ending, but it has to be that way because these two men who loved and respected each other, they had come to a separation. One could not allow the other to continue, both in terms of honor and living, because Jin broke the laws of his land with what he did, the rules of the samurai, and his uncle could not live in a world where his honor is diminished because he didn't fight the war in the way that he had to win it, and then he couldn't let his nephew keep going like this. So they had to come into conflict. I was so surprised when that happened. Like, oh shit, I got one more fight. Oh shit, and it's a serious fight.
And it was beautiful with the flower petals in the air.
That's paid out, set up and pay off. That was his training grounds. That's where he learned to fight. And of course, the fight didn't last very long because with my super ability, the super when I unlocked, it was over in seconds because I was beefy as all hell. But I had no armor on. You had no armor on in that fight, so you take a hit, you're gonna get hurt. But glorious game. I don't hear anything about the story of this game so far. All they do is talk about how pretty it looks and how great she is. And all they do. But now let's get to the meat.
And she's a Ronin, correct? Right?
Yes. Yes.
So she's already sacrificed the code of the samurai. So there's not going to be any conflict to become.
She has a bounty on her. She's a criminal. She's a full-on criminal.
Of course she's a criminal.
Yeah. So I believe so. Don't
Art
quote me.
imitating real life.
But now here's the thing. We have been told already in these past few days that this game has sold over 1 million copies. Are you guys curious how we know this? Are you curious? Would you like to know?
I would love to know because I haven't seen any receipts. $1 million or 1 million units in the first day.
This single post from Millie A at Million Man. I don't know. Hearing 1.3 million sold on first day for Yotei. Ever so slightly ahead of Tsushima's first 24 hours of 1.25 million. Okay, that is a retarded statement to make because Ghost of Tsushima was an unknown game.
That's
with
correct.
Sucker Punch, an unknown company. Saying that Yotei has sold more, they have goodwill already.
They built in marketing that's been going for years.
Exactly.
That they didn't have the benefit of.
Trying to compare the sales record pacing, the sales pacing to the first game, that's a ludicrous comparison. Ludicrous. Tsushima kept pace on its second day with another 1.15 million sold. Can Yotei keep up? Of course, by then we were given numbers way later. This is all we have. Everybody is running with this meme right now. They've made screen caps. They've made whole kinds of posters. 1 million copies sold. How's that boycott going? Jed, there's no physical announcement from Sony or Sucker Punch. I looked this morning before when I was setting this up. There's not a single announcement from the company that is the producer and the company that made it.
So no reputable source.
Exactly.
None.
Well, and I actually looked up who this person is for the tweet.
Who are they? Who are they?
The bios is working proudly within the entertainment and sports industry. Stats crazy, no requests. She's from London with 9,000 Twitter followers. That's all the information we have.
So hearing
she follows
from
35
who?
People.
Hearing from who? My source is better than your source?
This tweet has 493 likes right now.
Okay.
This is a random ass tweet from someone making shit up, which happens, and everybody's running with it because it fits their narrative. Give us a reputable source. I could believe these numbers within the first couple days, especially with that context of how much Ghost of Tsushima got. I could believe these numbers being possibly true. But you have to have a reputable source. Otherwise, we will dismiss this report and laugh at you for it. This is bad journalism.
Until I hear Sony or Sucker Punch say X amount of copies sold or downloaded. Units moved, units downloaded. I don't believe 1 million copies sold. I just do not. Because then we have this story right here. This is a that's not it. That's not it. There it is. Now this is, of course, we take it with a grain of salt. We have to take it with a grain of salt. But this guy says, Billy Thimble, who's just regular person on Twitter. Nobody knows. This just goes to Best Buy, takes a screenshot. And this was October 4th, yesterday, 2 days after they'll drop. Just saw this at Best Buy, laughing my ass off. They haven't sold a single copy. Dude replies, I worked at a Best Buy for over a decade. They always have stacks and stacks of physical copies of new releases. I've never seen them run outside of extremely limited releases. Oh, wait, I lost it. Okay, it's moved since I had it. Anyway, here it is. Oh, here's one I wanted. Or they restocked. That's a weird assumption. Guy then says, not an assumption. I asked if they had a game, and they said and they had a laugh about it with this. And the guy said they haven't sold any. Meanwhile, Silent Hill F and 30-year-old game, Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil East Chronicles sold out. Now, we take this as much as we can, okay? We don't know. But I can believe this because the restocking theory. Yeah, when something gets sold out, the restock's a week later because it takes that long for everything to ship. The things just don't arrive overnight when they run out. You got to wait till the next truck comes in at the beginning of the week. I'm leaning towards this is legitimate, that this is not going to move, and that there is a big lie going on about this game, about units sold and everybody playing it. Because every time somebody talks about it, like Jed said, they get shouted down. your boycott isn't working. Guys like the Mighty Queef. Yes, I know that's his real name's what we call him. Trying to glaze. Oh, your boycott didn't work. Oh, you're all this, that. Why are you all working so hard? Why I mean, Dre, why are they working so hard to protect this game and making sure that it's selling?
It's all because of the political leanings of the creator. It's plain like that's the only reason, and that's all they have. Because once the numbers come out, then we all will see in reality that this junk sold for about 36 cents worth, and then everyone can move on with their lives. But the idea that that these people have to protect it because in their minds, because this isn't the real world, of course, but in their minds, they believe that they are protecting their movement. And when I say movement, I do mean bowel movement, because that's all it really is. And now, especially because their particular organization has now been dubbed a terrorist cell, because in every measurable metric, it absolutely is. They now feel like they have to play this kind of defense in order to make it happen. But it's look, and the idea of comparing the physical media sales in a Best Buy, it's
a little rough.
I come on, like
Yeah.
like that is not the measuring stick for game sales anymore. As much as
it is. It is. That's why I said grain of salt. That's why I said grain of salt.
Exactly. But like the idea, like, oh, Best Buy sold or didn't sell, bro. Ain't nobody going to Best Buy to buy their games. Let's truth shame the devil.
No,
but the idea that you're using this as a gotcha, you know what I mean? Or anti-gotcha. Like it's the mess is embarrassing. And like, especially for being a PlayStation exclusive, the numbers are going to be limited anyway. Because one, there's only one console. Two, a lot of people already walked away from the franchise because of someone's outrageous leanings. And plus, there's still fallout for what smells like woke. Even if this joint wasn't, it smells like it. And that's enough for people to walk away. And like, is that really fair? Directly? No, it's not fair directly. But we know legitimately that who's behind this, and girl bossing and blah 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 blah. Man, ain't nothing yada yada. Like the usual stuff.
Now,
so it's unfortunate, but it is what
here. This is a little more of an accurate litmus test of what's being sold. Go to Amazon. 20,000 bought in the past month. And that's including pre-orders. That means probably 20, 30,000 people bought it off of Amazon. That's a measurable thing, because I get all my games off Amazon. And when I get a physical copy, I usually get a few bucks off. It's usually a better deal. $70 a pop. They say it's a $60 million price tag for the production. Not
60 million was the production budget.
Yeah, they said the reports are that the budget's very similar to Ghost of Tsushima, which was about 60 million.
But that was 20 years ago.
No,
there's no way.
Like 6 years ago.
6 years.
Oh my God, my brain went somewhere else. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're right. That was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You're correct. My brain was somewhere else 6 years ago. Okay, yeah, if those numbers are accurate, and I do mean if these numbers are accurate, it has a chance of actually making a profit. Now,
it's probably going to make some profit.
I don't believe it, but nonetheless, like, that's a chance for it to make some profit. Now, Frank actually makes a very good point in the chat there. $60 million for DLC. That's essentially true. I don't know who the target demo is for this. I wasn't really into, like, the first game. Obviously, it was done very, very, very well. But I myself wasn't. It's just not my genre. It's just not my genre. But all the same, I know who bought the first game. I know exactly who bought this game. Exactly. This game. Who is this game for? Because it ain't for the girl boss people, because they're not going to buy it anyway, because they're not an audience. Who is buying this game? Is it just going to be the PSN shills that buy this game?
Good question, because if 20,000 people bought a physical copy, and Amazon is arguably one of the biggest video game movers now, people might still go to GameStop. People will still go to GameStop. I don't know why, but they still will. We know they're not going to Best Buy anymore. We just said that. So it's not an accurate thing, but it's still, some people will get a couple here and there. Where else are you buying this game if not digitally? And if we know Amazon, and I would say this is pretty accurate reporting, because if it buys it, they mark it as a unit sold. Great. Where's the million coming from? Are you telling me that another? Well, let's say between Amazon and GameStop and Best Buy, maybe a couple other places, maybe a couple 100,000 units moved. I'm trying to be fair. I'm just trying to be
That's
fair.
very fair. Yeah.
Sure.
100,000 units moved. If you include every possible brick and mortar store you can walk in and buy something from, plus Amazon,
100%.
are you telling me then, out of these millions copies sold, that another 700,000 people just went digital for it? I'm supposed to believe that.
That's a tough ask. That's
why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah,
and I'm finding it hard to
I don't
believe
think
that
so.
1.1 to 1.25 million copies were sold in the first couple of days. I don't care if it's number one on PlayStation Network. I don't care if it's number one here, number one there. You're telling me that 700,000 people bought it digitally.
I don't think that it was released. What day was it released? Because it's Sunday night.
4 days ago.
4 days ago. So a Wednesday release, as it usually
Wednesday,
would be.
Thursday, something like Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
cool, sure. To say that, is it possible? Now, once again, I'm playing with hyperboles here. Is it possible for it to have sold 1 million copies in 4 days? It is possible. Logistically,
4 days.
it is possible. In 4 days.
They were talking about 1 day. They were talking about one day.
No,
right here. I mean, we go back to this. Sold on the 1.3 million sold on the first day.
No.
That's what the claim is.
No, I don't buy that for one solitary second. Could it be over the course of 4 days to have 1.3 million? Sure, I'm willing to bend that, but not in 1 day. That's,
when
come on.
GTA 6 drops, I'll believe 10 million sold in 1 day. I'll believe that in a hot second. That's
I mean, to be baffled by people willing to do that, but yeah, I'll believe any numbers.
That question of preference aside, whether we want to, I will believe when they tell me like GTA 6 sold 5 to 10 million copies in a day. I'll believe that in a second, and hot second. I cannot believe that. Yes, there are about I believe there are 50 to 60 million PS5s out there worldwide. That means everybody around the world. Now, could 1.3 million people bought this around the world? Yes, of course. But I haven't seen the enthusiasm except from brain dead Westerners like this.
Who've made it a political issue.
Yes. I mean, look at this person right here. Blue Owls Medic, community manager on Blue Sky.
Oh boy.
I mean, these are the people. So yes, could people have bought it in Japan? Sure. Could people have bought it in Korea? Sure. Could people have bought it in England? Sure. But I'm having trouble to believe that a game like this sold 1 million in a day.
Yeah, I have
1 million in 4 days, like you said. I'll buy that. Yeah. I'll buy that. Not 1 million in a day.
No.
Especially here in America, where we see Amazon, which is probably the place people go to buy everything. I do it myself. Only 20,000 plus sold. They would have said, if it was 100,000, we would have said 100,000, 50,000. That means somewhere between 20 and 30K right now, as of today, October 5th, 2025. So this whole thing, there's just something that smells off about everybody trying to tell me this game is the massive hit that it is already, to try and tell me that this shit's better than the first one in every way. I'm pressing X to doubt.
As we should, and we're warranted to have that type of doubt put in front. They've earned it. They've earned the doubt.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to believe what anybody's saying. And here's the thing. Outside of the critical response, but critical response for games now mean absolutely nothing to me anymore. I've seen them give dog water 9.5s out of 10 and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
that means nothing.
Veil guard. Veil
Yeah.
guard.
Exactly. So that means absolutely nothing to me at all. The only thing that matters to me are sales. That's it. Once the real sales numbers, they'll probably come out probably next week.
Mhm.
If we don't see sales numbers, it didn't sell.
Yeah.
Let me be as clear as I possibly can. It did not sell.
Jed, how quickly did they tell us how many copies of 33 sold?
Oh, immediately. They were
Yeah.
talking about it as much as they could. They were giving receipts and they were doing units sold. This isn't an Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, we have 3 million players in a few days.
Yeah.
It was just a nonsense metric. The Expedition 33, they sold very well. They were transparent about it, and it made sense. It was a lower price tag as well.
Yeah. And to Errol's point, just about every person shilling this game, they had a picture of them holding a physical copy with their ankles crossed, going, "Look what I got! Look what I got!" So physical copies, it's still a thing. I'm a proponent of physical copies, and every one of these so-called fans, they bought physical copies to shill for it. So they went out and bought a
hoop
physical
stain controllers.
Yeah. Oh, the controller. Let's go back right here. Look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this. This thing, $84. They are all running around. There are posts all over the place celebrating getting this controller. Look at this thing.
It looks like it's got shit smears on it.
I was thinking that as well. I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to go now.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
All right, Dragon Lady.
Night.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
sorry
through.
about that.
Bye.
Night.
Okay. So, but as I said, this thing right here, they have automatic damage to it. Automatic damage to it. Little markings. And listen, right here. Pick it up again, just like I did on Ballbusters. DualSense right here. This is my third one in 4 years. I love this controller. I prefer it over an Xbox controller. I like where the analog sticks are. I don't like where the analog sticks are. I like the feel of it in my hands better. I've never enjoyed an Xbox controller. I've had them. I just don't like them. I prefer this. I prefer the Sony controller. But it's a piece of shit. Within a year, drift starts to happen. My buttons work fine. It's always the drift. And these things already cost an arm and a leg. Somebody paid $84 for this thing, and they're so pleased as punch about it. It's going to break. And then you got a fancy brick worth nothing. Because once drift happens, you both know you can't fix drift. I've tried. I've physically taken the damn things apart to try and fix the drift with like limited layman ability. This is pathetic. And they're also proud. Same with the God of War controller to run around with. Don't spend your money on that shit. It's bad enough these things cost $70. This is an $84 special thing. Bad enough. You're retarded. So I feel like we've made some sort of headway dissecting where this has gone, what it's doing. And something smells foul in the state of Denmark right now. Something smells foul. Something isn't adding up. Between
It's only a matter of days. It's only a matter of days now.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. We will, if we get numbers next week, if Sony or Sucker Punch say million, because you can't lie like that, can you? You can't lie.
Yeah, it opens you up to lawsuits.
Exactly. There are laws on the books for false advertising, false promotion. You cannot say, why do you think why do you think Ubisoft goes players? Because it's not lying. And
it's an ill-defined term, so they can do whatever they want. I say, oh, we actually meant it this way if they're called out on it.
Yeah. So, but sales, that's hard. That's a hard number that can be tracked with receipts to companies and tax.
That
sales are
the
tax
stock.
And it's tax purposes too. Exactly. There's money involved because Sucker Punch and Sony are still publicly traded companies, unlike EA, who are owned by the Saudis and several other investment companies now. That's
wild stuff.
That's what started our week.
Who else is looking forward to a Saudi Arabia made Star Wars game?
That's insane.
Well, they don't know. Well, they don't have a deal with Lucasfilm anymore. They don't. Their deal is
that
over,
would have been glorious.
Can you imagine?
So this right here, When I woke up to this, I thought people were shitting me on Monday. This is crazy. But let me ask us flat out. Numbers a lot aside, who's involved aside. I read this article at the beginning of the week, everybody announcing it, all the kind of stuff. I'm going to ask you guys flat out. Does this change anything with EA?
Nope.
Thank you.
No, nothing. It just proves the same thing that we've been saying for years. EA is garbosian. Now the Arabs done got it. Like, it's over. It's over, man. Like,
yeah.
like stop the bleeding, mommy. Stop the violence. Like, just now it's officially been sold. Now what? I don't know what the Saudi investors actually their plan is.
Oh,
whatever,
look,
but I'm pretty sure they're going to solve
Dre, they're $20 billion in debt after this purchase.
No, oh,
that was the following day. This got announced a day later. They're $20 billion in debt from this.
It's insane. Oh man,
they gotta liquidate, but yeah,
they got to. They have to.
Well, here's the question then. Here's where I want to go with this. Everybody's talking about this and that. Before we go into the other parts, I got to bring this up. They mentioned it here. This could doom BioWare Mass Effect 5. First of all, it's Mass Effect 4. Andromeda is not Mass Effect 4. It's called Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, but people misnumber it all the time. It's Mass Effect 4, not Mass Effect 5. Here's what I have a problem with this. The CEO, this guy right here, Andrew Wilson, they kept him on. This is the same guy that came out and said Veilguard is back to business for Dragon Age. It's Dragon Age of old. Came out and blew smoke up everybody's ass because smoke was blowing up his ass because he's an ineffective leader. He's not good at his job. It's not, listen, did EA still make money on old sports games? Yeah, because a monkey could push a button and everybody will line up to buy the next Madden, whether they complain about it or not. Same with Call of Duty. Bitch and moan, they're all going to line up and buy the damn game every year. Some every other year, but still, and buy FIFA and buy NBA, buy golf, whatever freaking
have
sports
some
team is.
self-respect, people.
They all do it. They all do it. They all eventually do it, no matter how much they bitch and moan. So this guy was in charge of the destruction. He oversaw the literal destruction of BioWare. And of course, then rightfully started firing people. But now to say, could BioWare be doomed? BioWare was already dead, and y'all celebrated it. That's one other problem. People are celebrating in response to this throughout the week when this started. Good, let BioWare die. Excuse me if I don't like hearing that. I believe I said this during my conversation earlier in the week with just myself in the chat. I said, what I would like to hear are the Saudis go, you know what? Let's fire everybody at BioWare, but then let's restaff it with people who give a damn about making good games. Why does it have to be the destruction? Why can't we think about fixing it? I mean, granted, we're not going to get the same people that made great Mass Effect and great Dragon Age, great anything else came under BioWare, KOTOR, all that stuff. They're gone. But there are people out there ready and willing to make new games, new ideas, new franchises. Why don't we bring them in and return BioWare glory? Why are people so happy to see BioWare just die? Why can't it be saved? That's my question.
A lot of people are too excited about celebrating destruction. We see that all the time. Is destruction is the only thing that makes them happy, and that they've blackpilled so much on every entertainment industry that something getting destroyed is the only way for the industry to evolve and get better. Now, a lot of these companies could be saved. I know you fought a lot with people on this with Square Enix. Square Enix, from all accounts, is trying to turn itself around, is trying to make great games again. But people are begging for it to fall apart. They're begging for it to die and celebrating every misstep that they take, unwilling to give them a chance. Same thing with Playboy. We were talking about it. Playboy is trying to turn itself around, but people are celebrating imminent destruction. And I can't ever get on board with that mindset. With most companies, there is always room for improvement. There is always a chance. It needs extreme action. You have to clear out everybody and start from the ground up. But these entities don't need to fall apart for the industry to survive.
Thank you.
It's just celebrating the castle burning down around you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you mentioned people trying to take a pot shot at Square Enix who admitted wrong, said, here's our 2-year plan to get back to basics. And then after a year saying we're going to do this, they come out with this right here. We're going to play it live on this channel on Tuesday night. We're going to solo gaming on Tuesday night. This is a love letter to true fans. It's just a remaster, updated voice, full voice act. It's going to be great. They're trying. But then this happens. Obsidian.
Well, before you jump into that, I wanted to address something that Jed said.
Go ahead.
First of all, Jed, everything has to die. Let's be clear as I can. Adam, I've said this several times while here. In order for the Phoenix to rise, you got to burn it all to the ground. BioWare, unfortunately, is become a cesspool of garbage that cannot produce anything. It hasn't produced anything that's made money in the last decade. Mm-hmm. It's kind of rough. Like what was it? Like Anthem might have been the biggest failure in the history of gaming over the last.
Well, it was a lie.
10 years. It was a lie.
That's a lie.
It was badly produced. It couldn't even finish the game. They lost literally hundreds of millions of dollars. Then what did they do? I think it was Mass Effect. They remastered Mass Effect
Legendary Edition, which was a success. It was a success. Yeah.
They did Mass Effect, and that joint made money, but that wasn't a new game. Mm-hmm. It didn't make money. And then, of course, Dragon Age the Veilguard, aka Sodomy the game. That
really was Sodomy the game.
It was Sodomy the game.
It really was.
which essentially has murdered BioWare in its sleep. There's nothing. There's the brand damage over the last decade is too much for it to overcome. Now, could it be raised back from the dead by somebody that actually cares about? Let's just say Mass Effect is. I'm just going to use the biggest one they have because
it's all they got left.
It's all that's left. Yeah. If it's somebody that actually cared about Mass Effect and bring it back from the grave and do something monumental and make gazillions of dollars, of course. But who's going to invest in it?
Well, they're working on Mass Effect 4, and let me be honest, I don't want that game to come out. I don't.
Oh God, no! What are they going to do to that?
I want the Saudis to pull the plug on Mass Effect 4. I really do. Leave it where it is. But Dre, you see, I've reached a compromise. I would want them to fire everybody at BioWare. But then
that's what the Phoenix Fire looks like. Is you have to burn through,
that's what I'm saying. Let it happen,
and then it has to rise from the ashes. If it no longer exists, there's no Phoenix. There's no rising from the ashes. There's no restoration. We're trying to get people excited about restoration or make restoration possible. These people want it to burn and stay dead. That's what they're celebrating.
Problem.
Now that's correct. Yes,
Square Enix is trying to bring itself back from the brink. BioWare could someday, in the best of circumstances, if the stars align, could come back. But so Dre, I agree. Everything needs to burn down to be built back up. But the people I'm referring to, they want it to burn and stay down and be scattered to the
and
four
that's
winds.
my problem with people saying that.
They're masochists. So they really just don't understand.
I don't see why you can't gut it, fire everybody, and make it new. And I said this: the best thing the Saudis could do would be to break apart the entire company into individual companies. Make BioWare a solo company again. Make every company that EA brought into their absorption, into their monopoly, break them down to individual autonomous companies. Let them run themselves without EA breathing down their necks. My best example is when EA absorbed Mythic back in the 2000s. And Mythic, after making Dark Age of Camelot, a very good MMO, I was told, I never played it, but they were the ones that made that, and everybody was excited when they were making Warhammer Age of Reckoning, fantasy MMO with RVR and PvP and PvE, all kind of stuff. We're all excited. EA rushed it. They came in and said, get it out now. That game should have been in the oven for another year before it came out. It was not ready, and it was broken beyond hell, and it was terrible. And I played it for a good half a year until I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. And I bailed. And that's the EA. EA does nothing but hurt and rush things because EA never wanted to change. They were perfectly happy. Unlike what Jed just said, Square Enix has tried. And every time they do something, there's always people who want to shit on it. And it doesn't help when this happens. I talked about this earlier in the week. Obsidian, we know what they are. We know exactly what Obsidian is right now with Avowed and all the shit that they do. They posted this.
What the fuck is that art?
I don't know, but it's supposed to be a callback to Final Fantasy Tactics with Ramza and Delita standing back to back. And then out of just responding, which is what you do, the account, current Final Fantasy account, probably Final Fantasy America, Square Enix. It's Final Fantasy, which means if it's like this is Square Enix America, probably not even the mothership in Japan. Just said, thank you. We hope you all enjoy the game. Is there anything wrong with saying that?
Not in the least.
No.
It's marketing. You're not going to start fighting with people from a marketing account.
Even though Obsidian is plastering agenda all over this fucking response. This is the smart move. You're not Jenna Crunchery, but there are people there, to Jed's point, who took this and said, look what they're doing. They're siding with the agenda with Obsidian. It's like, just shut up.
Could they have stayed quiet? Possibly. That might have been the best option, is just to ignore this post. But
yeah, but it's harmless. It's just
entirely harmless.
It's just good manners. You're applying to a fellow developer, whether the developer's shit or not. You're just saying thank you. And there are those out there, you know who I'm talking about, who are just take any moment to just go after Square Enix when they did nothing wrong here. All they did is release a game that everybody wants to play, and I am 100% sure come Tuesday, I'm gonna have a great time. Everybody who joins me Tuesday night's gonna have a great time too. And we sit down, we crack this one open. It's already installed and ready to go. We're gonna have a great time. And yes, are people dissatisfied with the current expansion on Final Fantasy 14? Yes, it's the fourth expansion. Heavensward. So Heavensward. No, fifth expansion. Sorry, fifth expansion. How many expansions did WoW have, and how many of those are shit, but people kept playing, coming back?
Facts.
So I mean, not everyone's going to be a winner. So Jed's point, I love it so much. People take any excuse to just tear something down because they don't like it. Objectivity
there are
is
times
gone.
to bring stuff down. Like Lucasfilm, it's the same thing with all these. They need to be gutted, and then they can be rebuilt. We all want good Star Wars someday. Extreme aggressive action needs to be taken to achieve that goal. But if you just say, hey, Lucasfilm's been purchased and it's liquidated and Star Wars rights no longer exist, like Star Wars just is wiped out from existence, there will be people who celebrate that. There are better avenues than just liquidating and being excited about that.
I would want Lucasfilm to be purchased by somebody else. I would want them to fire everybody involved who's been there for the past 15 years and then hire new people and make an attempt to bring Star Wars back to some relevancy again, out of the hands of Disney and those who were happy with the agenda that they pushed through it. That's what I want. I don't want
even if it was purchased and liquidated and it made it illegal for Star Wars to be made, or some crazy, like someone owns the trademark, the copyrights, and they just sit on a shelf and it disappears. You wouldn't celebrate that.
No.
You wouldn't be happy that Star Wars as a franchise is dead, and most fans wouldn't be happy that their franchises are dead. There should be a mourning period, if nothing else. I mean, that's an aggressive or an extreme way of putting it, but just this celebrating everything that burns to the ground and pissing on the corpse and praying that it never comes back.
Yeah. I don't understand
that's
hate.
Not
like
great behavior. Yeah, that's extreme hate that's taken too far, in my opinion. I don't think the Saudis are going to help it, but I do think there are ways that BioWare has a future eventually if the right decisions are made, and that's what I wish would happen. But I'm not going to say, hey, I hope it gets liquidated and we never ever see any Mass Effect again.
I mean, here's the problem with, back to the main point. That was an interesting way to get back to this. The Saudis, they're not going to do anything different. These are money people. These are not gaming developers. These are businessmen, the heads of all these different groups that are part of this collection of money, power, investment firms that are now control EA. They just want to make money, which means they're going to probably triple, double, quintuple, quadruple down, wherever we take on all the money draining things that go into every EA game. Every sports game with the cards and the loot boxes, that's all going to keep going. They're going to keep doing that. There is no way in my mind that they pull back on that. They're just going to make money. They're going to push more mobile gaming because it's easy money. It's cheap to make. If they shut things down, they'll shut it down, not because they want to bring it back or because there's any malice, just because it doesn't make money. So I think right now this whole Saudi thing, it's about money, and they're going to treat it like money. It's cold, calculated moves, and it's going to mean that those who are still in charge are going to keep doing the exact same shit they did before. Now, some people are cheering, oh, they're going to be lack of agenda. If that's all you see, I'm sorry, you're very limited, because even if the agenda is gone, the quality of the games, like Dre, you mentioned Anthem, that had nothing to do with agenda. That was just dog
Absolutely
shit.
not. It was just an absolute piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Just how do you make freaking robo suits boring? How do you pull that off with a terrible story, terrible open world, no enemies to speak of, flying around doing nothing? The game wasn't even finished upon release. They didn't even freaking finish the game at all when the freaking patch went through. DLC, never heard of her. The whole game died in about 37 minutes tops. It was an absolute disaster. It had nothing to do with agenda-driven nonsense or whatever the case may be. It was just absolute first ballot Hall of Fame garbage. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to hide behind, oh, you don't like it because fill in the blank, movement, cause, penis, whatever. It's trash. That's why. If you would, I'm gonna say something ridiculous, but I'm gonna go and say it anyway. If you made something that was agenda driven, but made it the greatest game of all time, people will buy it. People will buy it. They're like, oh yeah, man, it was kind of weird that dude like cut his cock off in the middle of the thing, but man, that gameplay, you know what I mean? Like that would have been the headlines. Like, oh man, this game, oh the quality, the action, the adventure, the online gameplay, the storyline, all this stuff.
There are ways to make it work,
but they won't do that because the entire story is, I cut off my penis. We don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. We don't care. I'm black. We don't care. Give me a legitimate game and then throw your agenda at me later. Like, Jesus Christ, seduce me. For God's sake, seduce me.
That would require caring.
It would.
The agenda is not the end all be all of the problems in the entertainment industry. Excise it, and there's still plenty of other things that are partially caused from the agenda. Hiring the wrong people with no talent and whatnot can 100% be attributed to the political leanings of these companies. But just if you remove all the DEI or whatnot, all the gay stuff, it's still crap writers making crap games. So
And
that's
bad
what we're going to see in
development choices.
EA. Yeah. Bad development choices. So yeah, the Saudis might have a no alphabet shit in games rule. Let's say that happens. Well, the games aren't necessarily going to get better still at the same time. It's still the same people writing them. And I know BioWare, I don't know if you guys saw some of the Dragon Age Veilguard developers said that Saudis would have a war in their hands if they tried to remove all the alphabet shit from BioWare's games. That would be hilarious to watch. But yeah, you need to seduce. You need to have people of talent there.
Yeah.
And
I don't believe for a second they'd have a war in their hands, because those people hold no power. The Saudis, they burn more money when they wipe their asses than what it costs to fire than what would cost to keep paying those people. So they will fire them instantly with no losses. It's like, oh, you're gone. You want to? Here's the thing. What we will know is that you don't talk back to your Saudi bosses. They will not.
No.
They will not tolerate you going, oh my God, you're not gonna let me tell the story of cutting my penis off?
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Not
play
gonna allow
that
that.
mess. Now,
Yeah.
this I will say,
Yeah.
them Arabs don't play that foolishness.
No, they don't.
Right?
They don't.
So-
Unfortunately.
So, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, EA is finished as we know it.
Oh yeah,
as we know
It's
it, yeah,
finished.
absolutely.
but
It's finished.
they're still going to put out a Madden game every year, and it's going to
Yeah.
have little to no improvements from the previous version.
Madden doesn't count. Madden is they can literally just re-release
machine.
a new Madden every 20 minutes. Like, there's no new changes, there's no updates in graphics. All they do is update the roster. That's it. No more, no less. As far as I'm concerned, you should just buy one Madden and update it every year. In my personal opinion, that's the way it should be. However, that's easy print. That's easy printing. The 2K series, all the things that are connected to sports, that's easy print money. That does not. It costs you nothing. It literally costs you nothing.
And they're all
Print
dog
another day.
shit, though. They're all
Yo,
dog shit.
they've been bad for years. Once there was no more competition, once once NBA Live was no longer a game,
Oh my
once they took down
God.
the
It was so good.
It was so
live,
good.
Live 98 and 99
Those games were so
were
good.
so good.
Those games were so good. NBA Live, then the 2K series, that the NFL 2K series,
Yeah.
that when that got removed, college football, that joint got removed. So all is left is Madden. You have no competition at all. All you got to do is reprint a disc. That's it. It cost them nothing to make. So I'm sure the Arabs ain't gonna have no problem doing and just printing those sports games.
Yeah.
When it starts tackling the real games of the studio, they're gonna run into some problems. I am thoroughly convinced that we will not see another Mass Effect game for another 10 years.
Let it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, it has to die. That has to die. And
It needs to sit on the shelf.
Mass
Exactly.
Effect was Shepard's story. You had a chance with Andromeda. I didn't hate it. You had a chance telling them the story. You abandoned it.
Mhm.
So now it's
Mhm.
done. I have Legendary Edition. I can replay those 3 games over and over again, which I've done, and be happy.
Yep.
And I'm happy. I don't want any more.
Yep. And that's gonna be where it is. They're just gonna have to make their money off sports games. That's about it, because literally everyone has to be fired. Now, I'm gonna go on a limb and assume that everyone that is affiliated with EA and all the subsidiaries are going to get their pink slips.
It's gonna be a process.
Yes, but I assume that is what's gonna happen, because all those activists and Sweet Baby and all them other people that are involved and blah, 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 those folks over there in the Middle East care about 2 things: Allah and money. Okay? That's it. If you interfere with either of those 2 things, you're finished.
Yeah.
You're finished. So let my Arab brothers and sisters cook. Let them do what they do. And hopefully in a decade or so, we can dust EA back off and they actually drop some hits and actually make some money. There's one thing they're going to do is try to make some money. So let it all go. Let all these people complain like, oh my God, the Muslims got us. Like, shut up. Just shut up. Like, what were you doing before they got you? A whole lot of nothing. So yes. So
one moment
let
complaining,
this happen.
they'll be done. The moment they start complaining, they're going to fire them.
Mhm.
They won't care.
Yeah.
They'll pay them out. Again, they wipe their ass with more money every day than it would take to pay them off to go away. So, your contract, pay your contract. Here, take it. Go. You're disrupting them. You're disrupting the work. We just want to make the money. Go. Because they're just businessmen. And that's both good and bad. It's going to clean house, but we're not going to get, like you just said, we're not going to get anything creative. We're not going to get anything mind-blowing. And since I don't play sports games, I don't play EA games, I don't play 2K games either. They ruined the wrestling games, ruined them.
That's very true.
2K12, WWE 2K12, when they moved away from doing SmackDown Raw, ruined it. Not been good since. 2K12 was okay, but then 13 was just not a good game.
Yeah,
not a good game.
It's been a lot of bad.
So I hate I hate 2K itself, and I haven't played an EA game since 2002. The last NBA Live game I played, 2002. KG on the cover. Or was that 2001? Anyway, point is, this changes nothing. We're not going to get games, and the sports games are all going to be there. It's just going to be there, and they're going to push more of the shit that is live service.
Oh God,
It's going to do that, and more. And I guarantee, I think they're going to get into more mobile gaming. I really do.
Live service and mobile game is 100% what the Saudis are going to push for.
Yeah, it's a chain thing. And so all these great games that we are not going to get probably wouldn't be available on Xbox Game Pass anyway, because that was the other thing that came out of left field that makes no sense, or it does make sense in one thing. We have all agreed that Microsoft they got one generation left. We stated that.
They've lost the culture war officially.
Yeah, but they raised the prices again. Now, all the consoles, from Nintendo to Sony to Microsoft, they're all raising the prices on this current generation of consoles, which is mind-boggling to me. Why are you doing this?
Oh, they have an excuse. They're blaming Trump.
Tariffs.
That's their excuse. So they can be greedy and it not be their fault.
Yeah. So
it doesn't work out so well.
Right now, if you are still an Xbox Bro, and there are still Xbox Bros out there, if you're going to buy a series, because they're all series, doesn't matter what the after that, you could spend upwards of $600. 800 if you want to get the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition. And then you're going to spend maybe
Jesus.
another $600 or $700 on their new handheld coming out.
Ain't
Well, that's-
nobody buying that. Now,
Sure.
like I said before, I'm glad that someone's getting into the mobile world. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
It ain't gonna sell, but I appreciate it. Just so it can make Nintendo do something cool. For the
Mhm.
love of God, please. Just like the system needs to exist.
Yeah.
It's not going to move a single freaking unit, but it needs to exist so Nintendo can stop giving us trash.
Go
So
innovate again.
please,
Go innovate again.
yes,
Yeah.
please.
So
Lord.
here we go. They're charging you all this money for a console that's dead. That's dead. Xbox dead. And then we get the announcement. Hey, guess what? We're raising the prices on Game Pass to $30 for the Ultimate.
$30. Oh
$30 for the
God.
Ultimate. And $30 Ultimate gets. Let me see if I can zoom in here because they don't. That's one of the problems with Niche Gamer. They don't click on the. They don't let you click on images of larger size. Ultimate, 500 plus games on Xbox and PC. Who the fuck is playing 500 games in a month?
$30? That's crazy.
New games on day one, including new Xbox published games and third-party games. Includes EA Play and Ubisoft classics, Fortnite Crew coming November. Stream games that are best quality with the shortest wait times, including select games you own. Play and earn up to $100 a year in store and rewards. Benefits for games like League of Legends and Call of Duty Warzone. Online console multiplayer. $30. So Dre, you pay $30 a month, and new game comes out. And let's say it's at least an 80-hour player, but you're a
Sure.
normal person. You can only
Sure.
play a couple hours a night
If
at
that.
best.
Yep.
At
Mhm.
best. All right. You played maybe, let's say you played 15 hours, maybe 20 in the month.
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
All right. Rolls over to the next month. Here's another $30. You've now played $60 for a game you don't own, to play a game you don't own.
Exactly.
And you're not even halfway done with it. Maybe you'll get another. Maybe you take a day off. Maybe take that Saturday, drop another. Maybe make a 10-hour gaming session on Saturday. Add on. Maybe now you're up to 50 hours, but you haven't beaten it yet, or there's so much to do. You're a completionist. You want to get all this shit done. Rolls over to the next one. Now it's up to $90. And this is the only game. Maybe you played a couple other games, and this is the one you're playing. You could have bought the game itself.
Yep. And here's my problem with a lot of this. Well, a lot of this. First of all, $30 a month is absolutely ridiculous on its face.
Mhm.
And I don't know who has the time to focus on that. Like, hey, I'm gonna pay $30 a month. When you think of somebody who pay $30 a month, you might think of like your phone bill or whatever the case may
I
be.
wish.
Something to that nature. I mean, I got Boost, so my joint's been cheap for decades.
My
I've had the same number.
AT&T bill ain't cheap
Oh, why
I've
you
had
do AT&T?
because I'm locked into a contract. That's why.
because Adam's old as sin and still haven't migrated from AT&T. I've had Boost Mobile since like 2006. You remember the chirp commercials, Adam? Like doo-doo, with the chirp joint.
Yeah.
That's when I got Boost, and I still got it. I'm paying $40 a month. Anyway, the point is,
I got 2 phones.
yeah, you big time. But this is my thing.
It's my mom's phone.
Yeah, you got to take care of your mama. So that's all good. So $30 a month for a gaming platform that you're not going to be able to use.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's crazy talk.
Mhm.
The only way you can get your money's worth is if one, you're a kid and it's summertime and you've got nothing else to do.
But
That's
even
it.
then, how many different? We've always said this was a losing business model, Jed.
100%. Because you're not making money off your games either.
Yeah.
Once again, this is the equivalent of a Disney Plus, a Hulu, a Netflix, or whatever. It's the same thing. If I drop a $60 game, excuse me, for the studios, let me be specific, not Xbox, but for the studios, especially third party, I it's supposed to be $70. Let's just use the standard numbers for
Mhm.
simplicity.
Yeah, everything's 70 now.
$70.
Everything's
70.
70.
$70. Instead of me, the studio, collecting those $70 price tags, I'm giving my game away for free.
Mhm.
While
Mhm.
Xbox is charging, Joe Schmo $30 a month, I am going to get residual income from that. Instead of me getting that $70, let's just say 100 times, $70 100 times, I'm getting $10
Mhm.
when I get the $10.
Mhm.
It's a terrible model for developers. If I was
Yep.
a developer, I would be protesting right now.
And
I
if
would
you're
be out there right now protesting. You're
and if you're a
screwing with me.
consumer, you should be protesting. Jed, look at that $9.99 a month. You get no day ones.
Yeah, no, this is not a streaming service that people should be paying for, because that's essentially what it is. What a lot of people aren't
100%.
highlighting here is, if you see in the premium and ultimate categories, you stream games. It's not talking about online play. That's specifically for people who don't have good enough computers and they can play the game online using a server. I've actually did that back in the day with some PlayStation games before I got my PlayStation. It's a terrible network doing stuff like that. Streaming a game remotely, you're having to have all of that data stream over your internet, and no internet out there is going to be able to rely on that. So you're paying for streaming games because you can't afford a computer. It's going to be a garbage experience. You're not going to be able to enjoy these games, and there's no way for the developer to make money. It's charging you at your ass, and it's being spread into too many pieces. Too many people have their fingers in this pie, so no one gets any pie. You're paying out your butt, and it's not going anywhere. So it's just a failed model. I don't understand why anyone would do this. If the streaming thing worked properly, I could 100% see that. $30 a month versus a $2,000 gaming PC. A lot of people would make that decision. But since it doesn't work, you're getting no value out of it. The day one releases, I can see if you're a fast gamer and there's something that you don't want to give money to directly, it's right for people to abuse the system. Like, people are telling me with Battlefield 6 was coming out. A lot of people in main event were telling me, hey, check out the old Battlefield games. You'll love the story. And they were all saying, get a month subscription to EA Plus, which is essentially the same thing. Get all those games for free. Play through them fast enough, and then you pay $30 for 5 games. You can either take advantage of them, or you get no benefit out of it.
And $30 for 5 games, that's about what I would have spent to rent 5 games in a month from Blockbuster back in the day. And it was still a physical copy that probably ran better. Yep. And listen, when Xbox does die, this is still going to be for PC. This is for PC and Xbox. But then again, PC, you already buy through Steam. That's already, PC gamers aren't using this. There's constantly a Steam sale. There's always a sale on Steam.
And you get to play if something gets taken off of Game Pass. Game Pass isn't 100%.
Yeah.
What's on there isn't permanent. So
It's
if
like
you
Netflix.
it's just like Netflix. You should buy what you want to treasure and replay.
Yep.
So this, and there are people who are gonna go full on this. They're gonna go full on this. They are going to happily pay this money just to spite everybody that disagrees with them in the console war, whatever you want to call it.
It's to spite PlayStation. These people.
There's no console war.
I know there isn't.
People still imagine it. It's phantoms on the wall.
No, Adam, your statement is fine, but the idea that Microsoft is somehow gonna gain at this point, it's like, there hasn't been a console war since the late 90s. Let's tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's just get that part.
Sony, Sega. I mean, sorry, it's Nintendo, Sega.
Nintendo and Sega. That's the only time it was a legitimate console war, because there's actually 2 warring factions that were both Japanese, which is absolutely hilarious to me.
And were vicious against each other. They were vicious.
It was no joke. The idea of console wars now is just everybody just picks something that they like. The war's been over for years. Like, if you were playing Microsoft or Xbox, whatever, you just play Xbox. But the idea that, like, oh, this is the way to gain or whatever, blah, 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 just stop being dumb, Microsoft. Look, I don't work for them jokers no more. I can say what I want. Like, stop being dumb. Like, stop being dumb. and stop trying to use the idea of whoever's in political power to justify you trying to pretty much hustle your fan base. Because the only people this is going to affect are the hardcores.
Mhm.
Adam, are you about to jump on Xbox and buy Ultimate so you can? Okay, Jed, are you about to hop on Xbox and buy? No, I have
God,
an
no.
Xbox, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's absolutely asinine to actually even have this up there as an option for me to pay you $30 a month to rent games that
Yeah.
I do not own and can never go back to once you remove it, and at the same time destroy the gaming studios. Now, here we go. Here's a little insider trading. The only way that the studios can have success in this is if Microsoft owns them.
Mm.
That is your only
Oh,
chance.
they own Bethesda. They own
Bethesda,
Activision.
they own Activision.
They own Blizzard.
Mhm. So this is the only thing that
Yeah.
makes any sense to me. They're going to put all these studios in a chokehold in order for them to be acquired. And then once they are acquired, they're going to take their IPs and dissolve the studios and then make them all under Microsoft or Xbox Studios, whatever they want to call it,
Mm.
and just have all the IPs under one umbrella. So now they ain't got to pay nobody and they can just rack up cash. That's the only thing that I can even think of or
Yeah.
imagine for this to make any sense.
And it's going to be even more profitable when they become a software only company again and not making consoles anymore. Because that's where they're
And
going.
yeah. Oh, I agree.
I mean, they've said we're going to keep going a generation. Yeah, you got one more. You got one more. Whatever the PlayStation.
You've got to really wow with that one, or there's no hope for that.
I listen. I don't want the next generation to come around for a few more years. I'd like to go through the rest of the decade without another console. Can we just stay with what we have right now, please? I'm happy with the PS5. I don't need a PS6. Nintendo just dropped the Switch 2, which is a PS4. Can we just? It is. It is.
100%.
So can we just stay where we are for a few more years? Why don't we wait for another technological jump in processing and all this kind of stuff to make it worth it? Because everything's it's a little tweaked, a little more here and there. And don't try to sell me no goddamn 8K. I will take that and beat you over the head with it. Don't even like 4K. Looks too weird. Anyway, so this
like
is
with 60 frames per second.
Yeah, I'm with you on 60 frames per second. I don't get all hot and bothered over 60 frames per second, and I don't see the big deal. People that claim it's great.
I physically cannot play a 60 frames per game second. I just can't. My brain is like, that is weird. That is not real. Yeah, and it can't keep up. It's weird.
I don't get it. I don't get 4K. I guess if you're blind, 4K is good for you. But my glasses actually, yes, I could use a new prescription, but I can see perfectly fine. So I don't need 4K. But this is exactly what we expected. And it stems from the fact that it's a bad business model. They're going to try to make money. And I loved what Dre said, that this is probably in line to consume more companies, destroy them, own their IPs, and not pay anybody for anything. And they know there are people who are going to pay this. They know there are. And you know what?
It's always, it's going to be the few, the Xbox diehards. This is literally the same thing for Nintendo. Nintendo had the diehards that's going to show up and buy the Switch 2 and get nothing. This is the same thing. Like the Xbox diehards, not the Microsoft. Xbox diehards are gonna be like, oh my god, Ultimate! I can play as many games as I want. Oh yeah, and then they're gonna give them their money. But everybody else that's either casual or has half a brain isn't going to engage in this type of nonsense until they create a legitimate monopoly. When they create a legitimate monopoly, then all bets are off. But it's way too late.
It's too late.
It is way too late. But they're trying. I believe I believe they're trying to do an acquisition. English is hard, of all these studios so that they can absorb them, and then they will be pretty much gods of software. And I think that is going to be where they, quote unquote, and I use this term very loosely, win, because now they'll have to have new hard contracts with Sony and whoever, Nintendo, not really Nintendo does their own thing, but Sony,
shit.
Sony is like, oh, you want to have whatever
Hey.
game you want. Yeah, well,
Halo's
give us
on
520.
Halo's on PlayStation now, or it's gonna be.
Yep.
So's and I mean Gears of War is on PlayStation. That listen, I never liked the era of exclusivity. I'm not a fan of it. I think put a game out there, put it everywhere, let everybody play it. If it's a good game, it'll sell anywhere. You shouldn't be locking behind anything. But goddamn, just make the good games. Don't try to push this shit on us. And unfortunately, right. And the quality is just going to go down even more.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, has Activision Blizzard gotten any better since they were swallowed up by Microsoft?
Good.
Has
question.
Bethesda got it? Bethesda put out Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster, the same game they released 15, 16 years ago. Same game. All the bugs are still there. They didn't improve.
Yep.
They just put a literal fresh coat of paint on it, said, here, buy it. And guess what? Everybody fucking bought it.
And
loved
lapped
it.
it up.
Loved it again. So people are just going to spend the money. Some people are going to do it automatically. Some of us are going to complain, try and point it out, and we're just going to do our best. But it's like we talked about with the Saudis and EA. This is going to change nothing because honestly, some people don't want to change. They just want to keep going along, pay the money, this and that. I mean, listen, I made a stupid purchase 2 weeks ago when. Well, no. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I had to buy something for my mom. They didn't have it in the store. She needed it. So I ordered it online from the same store, but they had to ship it from another state. They made me buy 2-day shipping.
Oh,
and guess when it arrived? A week later.
Oh no.
So I didn't need it anymore by then because I went, then they had it in the fucking store 3 days later. So now I got to go return it. It would be so easy for me to suck it up and soak that payment. But no, I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to say, here's the evidence. Y'all said 2 days. It arrived 7 days later. I want my money back. Take this from me. It's still in the package sitting in my front hall right now. Didn't even take it out. So some people will just say, I'll just eat it. I'll eat the cost. I don't care. No, I'm going to take it. I'm going to get my money back. And they're going to get my money anyway. I'm just going to buy the same product again in the store. But at least let me pay what I was going to try and pay the least amount for the best buy. So, but some people are going to pay the $30. I don't know why you'd pay the $9. You might just pay the $9 the way I pay the $9 for the PlayStation Network just so I can play online with my friends. That's the only reason I have PS Plus, so I can play online with everybody when we're co-oping. That's it. I don't take advantage of anything else they offer. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's the way it is. Because until I have a better rig for PC gaming, if it's a PlayStation, if there's a console version, I'm going to play that because I know it'll play and I can play with everybody. I mean, perfect example. In 3-4 months, when we get to the 2026 and Pocket Pair is releasing Power World 1.0, Kel's going to wipe our server since they fixed the crossplay now. And we're going to start over. It's going to be fun. But I can only do it because I have it from a PlayStation 5 now. And I can play it without lag on my PC. So until I get a better option, I'm going to play it on there, and I'll pay the extra $10 a month. I can afford that. I make at least that much with what I do here. So it's a simple of what are you willing to do? What are you willing to take? Some people are going to be willing to take the $30 hit because
That's
they still
wild.
have I think they've convinced themselves that the Game Pass is such a good deal for them. I'm going to play all this stuff.
Oh, people are always bragging about, oh, you paid real money for that game? You're so dumb. It's available for free on Game Pass. Like, they pride themselves on the fact that they have Game Pass and mock anyone who doesn't. These people, they make corporations a part of their identity. We've seen this in the past, of course, with people in the console war, but the console war still exists to some of these people as phantoms on their wall. Like the people who will go out there and mock you for playing a PlayStation game. It's like, oh, you're playing a PlayStation movie game? Well, I've got Game Pass and I can play a better game for free there. And it's just so cringe. Their identity is Microsoft. Is that Xbox?
It's everybody. It's a lot of people like that. There are Sony ponies out there.
Yeah,
there are
Sony ponies.
Sony.
The Nintendo people are really
drones.
At least there's enough Nintendo drones to keep Nintendo alive. There's not enough Xbox drones to keep Xbox
drones.
going.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've always said, we can quote me on this. I've said in the past, Game Pass was never going to be something I was interested in because I'm not interested in all those games that are available. I play niche games. I play niche genres. I play RPGs. I play a couple of shooters. I play a few co-ops here and there with my friends. I play MMOs. I don't play the games, the 500 games you're offering. I can't even fathom that many games that I'd want to play like that. I cannot. I still got a little bit of a backlog on myself. I got a backlog right here. I have 3 games right here I started playing and I haven't finished for various reasons. But I mean, it's just I can't fathom renting a service that to play games I don't even own. Can't fathom that. I think this is it changes nothing, and there's backlash to this. There's been a lot of
their
backlash.
cancellation site crashed because so many people were canceling it.
Yeah.
So this is hurting Xbox to a certain degree, and they're going to have to make decisions on how they're going to respond to it. They're so fucking dumb, like Warner Brothers, that I doubt this will make them change their decisions.
Oh, they don't care.
Change their philosophy. But
there is some business plan in their database that says this is going to make them money somewhere. Maybe the Dre's plan where they eventually buy everything up. And
it's the only thing that makes any sense.
Yeah. But no, what also makes sense? We're done. We're finished. That makes sense. Let's say our farewells and have a nice Sunday evening. Jed, go.
Well, everyone can find me on YouTube at Hollywood Scholar, just regularly scheduled live streams with the Saturday Night Drive-In this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. But Adam will talk more about that because we have a very exciting movie to watch this week.
Yeah, we do. Dre, how you looking for the week?
This week should be smooth. We'll see what pops off. You can all find me at the Brew Playing Comics YouTube channel, and follow me on X Twitter at TheBrew00, and of course check out my site bpcomics.io. You can see all my comic book work there. Check out all my voice acting stuff, all this stuff that I got going on in the ether.
Okay. As for me, I'll eat some dinner in a few minutes, a little bit. Nice dinner. I got leftover stromboli. Full of delicious beef and cheese and ham and onion. It's delicious. So good. Eat that. And then I'm going to take a break. Probably look over with the boys. And then I've got later tonight, Wormhole Watch with Brad, Hitman, and Fractured. We are out of the season 2 slog in Deep Space Nine. Blood Oath tonight. We're going to be watching and reviewing Blood Oath.
Nice.
The beginning of good. The beginning of I'm excited. That's fun. Hey, listen, that's a great episode for it for the respected show's original series alone with Core. Oh, it's so good. So I'm excited. Gonna have a good time tonight. And then tomorrow, Monday begins the week again. Come back here every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern for the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where y'all make me lose my mind and I have to put up with it. Then, of course, tomorrow night, because everybody will be available, new show, late night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Just for a little while, not for too long, the Stream of Conscious, where we just start talking about whatever. Just going to talk. No plans, no nothing. Go for about an hour where the conversation takes us. So join us for that, 11 p.m. Eastern of that. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we'll be playing Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles. Wednesday, I'm sure, well, I don't know, or maybe not. There's been some scheduling problems. Hopefully, we'll be playing some Space Marine 2. You can also catch me playing Final Fantasy 14 when Dermy live streams it. I'm usually there helping out, doing good stuff. And either way, we are doing Saturday Night Drive-In because it's spooky season. It's my choice this week. I struggled because I'm not really into spooky movies or horror movies like that, but I thought, you know what? Let's talk Bram Stoker's Dracula. Jed's never seen it. Another one Jed's never seen, so we should have a good discussion. It's a good movie with lots of flaws. Chief among them, Keanu Reeves' inability to do a British accent. He tried, and it wasn't good. But it's also still has a great cast. Sir Anthony Hopkins, Sir Gary Oldman, because he's knighted now. So it's got a great cast, but it's a good movie with a lot of problems. So we'll be talking Bram Stoker's Dracula this Saturday Night Drive-In, and then we'll be back here next week, 3 p.m. Eastern. It ain't going nowhere because that's my new time for this show. We hope you see you guys there. Thank you everybody for joining us. Hit that like button. Links are in the description below. Subscribe. We'll see you next week. Until then, take it easy, everybody.